Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie, and you picked a wonderful night to tune in. Tonight is Dabs for Donations Friday. Unfortunately, I only have like 2 or 3 dabs. Looks like I have maybe 3 dabs. I went to press some weed before we started the show. And, I might have a joint around here somewhere. I probably have a joint, can light. I went to press some herb before we started the show, and I blew a fuse. So, and I wasn't able to figure out which one it is. I wasn't able to get my, my electricity back going, which is fine. I don't have any plants under lights or anything. It's no big deal. Everything's out in the backyard. I've been farming all day. Can you see my sunburn? So I only have 3 dabs. So if you would like me to do a dab in your honor, the idea is that you make a donation and then I do a dab in your honor. And I think it's a wonderful idea. And we have a pizza gift card to give away. If we get $50 in donations, we'll give away a lovely Domino's pizza gift card to the 5th caller, or maybe the 6th caller. I haven't decided yet. We'll find out. So I am quite ready for a dab because it's been a long day and I actually haven't taken one yet. So if you'd like to make a donation so that I can do a dab in your honor, and we are so limited. Usually my first dab is free because I'm usually ready by the time we tune in. But tonight I only have 3 dabs. So if you'd like me to do one in your honor, time is short, people. And if we make the $50 goal, we will be giving away the Domino's pizza. The lovely Domino's pizza gift card giveaway. Because we know everybody likes pizza. Everybody likes pizza, right? I think everybody likes pizza. I'm not positive, but I would be very surprised to meet someone who doesn't like pizza. It would be somewhat shocking to me. I'd be like, what? Is that even possible? I'd really like to do a dab. I would have started the show off with that. But let's talk about the new 9/11, because that seems to be very, very important to the news cycle at the moment. The new 9/11, I want to talk about what 9/11 was, okay? Because they keep calling everything the new 9/11. They keep calling everyone the terrorists. The protesters are terrorists. The people who question COVID are terrorists. People bowling are terrorists. If you challenge anything that's what the government says, you're now considered a terrorist. Okay, so, and the truth is, since 9/11, you've all been potentially enemy combatants. It's in the law, people. This is why they can listen to every single one of our phone calls. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter if you're a nun. If you're the cleanest person on earth. They're listening to everything. So, and that's what 9/11 did. So all these things that are the new 9/11, and it's not the only thing 9/11 did. I remember shortly after 9/11, well, the day after 9/11, all airspace was shut down over the United States, right? No planes, no helicopters, no nothing over the United States for 10 days, okay? So, and I remember sitting on the roof looking at the stars, and my friend Sam said, it's never going to be like this again. There's never going to be a time when there's no planes in the sky. And there never have been since there. I mean, it was 10 days when it didn't happen. And this is right after 9/11. So these people that are saying, oh, this is the new 9/11. Well, 9/11 spurred on at least 5 wars, and I'm not counting anything that Israel did. We have the Afghanistan war, the Iraq war, the Libya war, the Syria war, and I'm going to include the war in Yemen, because I don't remember that going on before 9/11. So, and that's just the bare minimum. Okay, so the new 9/11, which is, what's the new 9/11? What's the new 9/11 today? Oh, right, the ransomware. The new 9/11 today is the ransomware. I don't see all the aircraft shut down. I don't see our airspace shut down. Does that mean that they're going to start 5 more wars because of this? And it really seems like that's what they want. I have a video about congressmen talking about whether or not the United States is ready to retaliate on Russia for these ransomware attacks. And as I was discussing last night, I don't believe the attacks are coming from outside the country. It's easy to make anything look like the computer is coming from outside the country. I don't think that's where it's coming from. I believe it's most likely the CIA, the NSA, the DHS, the FBI, someone like that, because it just works for them on so many levels. You understand? They can go, oh, we couldn't do this. You know, there wouldn't be any ransomware attacks if it wasn't for cryptocurrency. We have to get rid of the crypto or lock down on the crypto or be able to trace every bit of crypto that gets transferred to anybody, anywhere. Again, that works for the government. And then they can go, oh, we have to lock down the internet because it's just too wide open and there's all this ransomware attacks going on everywhere. It's the new 9/11. You have to give up your rights just like we did on 9/11, right? It's the new 9/11, people. Don't you get this? You have to give up all your rights and you have to do it right now. Otherwise, we just don't know what's going to happen. It's a matter of national security, you giving up your rights. Don't you understand this? This should be very simple for you. And that's where all these people are coming from. But that's where Congress has been coming from all along. You know, this isn't the first time they said it's the new 9/11. The mass shootings are the new 9/11. The coronavirus is the new 9/11. The ransomware attacks is the new 9/11. It just goes on. Oh, protest, the January 6th protest at the Capitol is the new 9/11. You know, I'm sure that there'll be a whole bunch more new 9/11s anytime soon now, which they want to crack down on your freedom. That's the reason they're saying this. That's the reason that they're highlighting these attacks. That's the reason that they're so high profile. They want to crack down on crypto and they want to crack down on internet freedom. So, and it's pretty obvious to me anyways. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time, but it's pretty obvious that that's where the attacks are coming from. So, again, the new 9/11. I want to tell you what I believe the new 9/11 is. I believe the new 9/11 is members of Congress and the White House selling your children's future, giving it away to the military-industrial complex, to the prison-industrial complex, to the pharmaceutical, the medical, the for-profit medical-industrial complex, all these places from every direction. They're giving away your children's future. That's the government that we currently have, which, in my opinion, makes them the new 9/11. The mainstream media. The mainstream media is bombarding you day after day after day. Terror, terror, terror. Terrorists, terrorists, terrorists. It's the new 9/11, people. We're all gonna die. Terrorizing people day after 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 day. This is who the mainstream media is. They're the new 9/11. Okay, if they can just label anybody the new 9/11, there's no doubt that the government deserves that label and that the mainstream media deserves that label. I mean, it's incredibly obvious to me. I could be wrong. I may have, like I said, it wouldn't be the first time, but it seems really clear that this is just another way to fuck with our freedoms. There's no doubt in my mind. That's what they're... Because every chance they get, You know, it's like, oh, we have to take your guns away because it's for your safety. Don't you know that there's an epidemic of gun violence in this country? It's the new 9/11. We have to take it's for your safety, people. This censorship, us spying on you, us watching every single thing that you do on the internet, everything that you do on your phone, collecting collecting everything, putting it in a folder with your name on it, that's for your protection. What are you, simpleton? That's so that we can protect you. The censorship on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, this again is for your protection. We don't want you seeing information that might not be true or that goes against the official story, because you can't see through these kind of things. You don't know, you don't have that ability to perceive false narratives, what's going on. These people have been poisoning your minds on the internet, telling you that 9/11 was an inside job. It just goes on and on and on. And again, the real terrorists are the mainstream media. The real terrorist is Congress and the White House and the Pentagon and the CIA and the NSA and the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. You want to know who the real fucking terrorist is? That's who it is. FBI, you fucking hear me? You're the real motherfucking terrorist. And we all know it. The police in this country. You want an epidemic of gun violence? The police are an epidemic of motherfucking violence. Okay? We see it day in, day out. They stomping on people's heads. They're pepper spraying little girls. Handcuffed 9-year-old girls. Because 6 giant cops can't handle a fucking 9-year-old handcuffed little girl. 6 giant cops without using chemical weapons on her. So who's the real terrorist? Police? Pepper spraying 9-year-old girls? Handcuffed 9-year-old girls 2 inches from their fucking face? Who's the real terrorist? Oh, I forgot. It's you and me. We're the real terrorists because we think the official story might not be true, and we're asking questions, and nobody can ask questions about the official story. This is where we're at, people. The government, the media, the FBI, the Pentagon, the CIA, the NSA, they're the real motherfucking terrorists. I hope you're listening to me, NSA, CIA, fucking stinkhole FBI. I hope you can hear what I'm saying, because I'm telling everybody, you're the new fucking terrorist. But it's not new, is it? It's always been that way. You're fucking pieces of shit who make wars based on lies and sell our children's future. Send our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters off to fucking war so you can make a shit-ass profit off of it. You're the real motherfucking terrorist, and I'm going to tell every fucking person I can. Oh, the new 9/11. I got your new 9/11 right fucking here. Fucking cunts. Okay? Come get it, FBI. Come get your new 9/11. I got it right fucking here. Fucking dick suckers. Not that I have a problem with dick suckers. I should refer to them as fucking cunts. Every goddamn one of you, FBI, CIA, DSH. You're all a bunch of fucking cunts. Hello, caller.
Max.
Hey, what's up, G?
What's up, man? Been watching your show since sometime around like Ron Paul ran the first time or something.
Right on. What's your name?
I don't know. Steve.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for calling. It's nice to hear from you. You miss Ron Paul as much as me?
Before.
You miss Ron Paul as much as me?
Oh yeah. I mean, Randy's doing all right, but he's not his dad, you know.
He's not. It's unfortunate. No. His dad used to talk about 9/11 and wars and stuff. You know, I don't see Rand Paul doing that a whole lot.
No, I mean, you know, like it's better than nothing, I guess. But yeah, he doesn't hold up to what the standard of his dad. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's
what are you gonna do?
Big shoes to fill, man.
That is big shoes to fill.
Yeah. So, how are you doing?
Just loading up some Chem Dog right now in the old bubbler.
Nice. Did you have plans for the weekend?
No, fuck no.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go to Olive Garden. I'm craving pasta fagioli soup. Can't I just
I
for
stopped eating carbs like a year ago.
what's that?
I stopped eating carbohydrates like a year ago.
Oh wow. I don't think
Yeah.
I'll ever do that. But you feel like it's made a big
Sounds good
difference?
though. Huh?
You feel like it's made a big difference?
Yeah, I lost like I'm like 110 down now or something.
Dang, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Good on you, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I was fat my whole life, and then I just decided last year I wanted to feel what it was like to be not fat, I
Huh.
guess.
It becomes easier not to carry around all the weight. I think you just I
Yeah,
think it's easier to be happy. There's so much pressure from society too. It's like you're like an outcast almost. If you're carrying around an extra 100 pounds.
it's true. Yeah, I can attest to that for sure. People
Yeah.
just look at you different, talk to you differently, or dress you differently. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never lost 100 pounds, but I imagine, like I said, they're just everybody looks at me kind of cross-eyed, anyways, because I have long hair and a beard or whatever. They don't
Because
like
you're long hair. Yeah, yeah.
they don't like stoners or hippies or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they look at me kind of
You long
cross-eyed,
hair.
and so I feel that kind of. I imagine that people that are overweight have a similar experience to something like that. Although I'm not carrying an extra 100 pounds, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's something like that. I used to be a hippie that didn't wear the nicest clothes and
Yeah,
look like everybody else, quote unquote hippie.
yeah,
But, yeah,
yeah. I
and
don't.
that was fat.
Yeah,
So I guess I kind of saw both.
Yeah, I don't see I don't wear the nicest clothes either. Everything I get is from the Goodwill. Although once in a while I get a pretty good one. Pretty good
Yeah.
buy. You can always every once in a while you find stuff at the Goodwill. It's just amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what do you think
Typically
about
didn't shave very much. So.
what do you think about all this new 9/11? You hear them talking about new 9/11, new 9/11. I mean, they've been saying it all day on the news today, and I've been seeing it for months. So, I mean, they called the protest on January 6th a new 9/11. You know,
Is that the new catchphrase they're using for it? The new 9/11.
it seems like it's everybody's terrorist, and now we're having the new 9/11 every couple months, and
Yeah.
it's
Yummy.
it's just it's slipped into. I mean, it's fucking Twilight Zone episode, dude. It just keeps getting more bizarro and more bizarro. I can't imagine it continuing that way, but it just seems to keep going.
Yeah, I don't really watch the news. I mean, I get my news bits and pieces here from feeds, and I
Yeah,
take most things with a grain of salt. I don't pay real close attention. I probably pay more attention to Mox News than Fox News, but I get bits and pieces here and there. I hear you talk about things. I get things through the grapevine. If I really want to know something, I go to like the AP. Is the first place I'll probably start.
yeah,
Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm writing a paper or something like that, depending on the source I need. But I don't pay a whole lot of attention. I didn't know the new thing was the new 9/11, but I can't say that was surprised me. The new 9/11, that's catchy.
it's like new Coke.
Fuzzy. Yeah, new Coke.
Um, it's today
The
they're
new 9/11.
yeah today they've been saying over and over again that the ransomware attacks are the new 9/11. So
Oh yeah, I
so
caught some of yesterday's show. You were talking about the ransomware stuff.
yeah. Well, today they're talking about it being the new 9/11. It wasn't part of the dialogue yesterday, and I'm pretty sure again that they're just hyping it up so they can so they can crack down on the crypto, which they hate, and they can
Sure.
put more restrictions on the internet because they hate our freedom, every single bit of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to like control everything. There's just so much freedom. It makes it difficult to keep track of everything.
How old are you?
43.
So you remember 9/11 pretty clearly, or?
Oh yeah, I remember. I was up early. I worked in sales, and I was up early to talk to everybody on the East Coast. And, yeah, I was up about
So
4 a.m.
yeah, so I can't stand these people, calling everybody terrorist. To me, that should be a word that's reserved for very specific, very few cases, very specific type of people. But now everybody's a terrorist, and now there's this new 9/11 every couple months. And what I'm saying is, I remember 9/11 too, and I
Yeah.
don't think. I can't see the protest on January 6th equal to 3,000 people dying in a few seconds on 9/11. I can't equate, the ransomware attacks to, 3,000 people dying in a few seconds, the creation of multiple wars, the loss of our rights. It just goes on, except for the people, in power. I can see them wanting it to be a new 9/11. It's pretty obvious because then they can just take away anything they want from us, and we have to go along with it because it's the new 9/11.
Well, I mean, fear and hysteria is their number one product. Really, when you think about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
If you're not
yeah, go ahead.
fear and hysteria, then what the fuck do you need them for, right?
It's not supposed to be a continuous thing. Fear is a very
Right.
specific thing that's supposed to last just like a moment. It's to give you a boost of adrenaline and help you make a decision very quickly. That's what fear is about. Not walking
Well,
around every minute of the day terrified of every fucking thing on the planet. That's not what fear is supposed to be. Not for the upright walking, big brain, tippy top of the food chain.
we got to convince everybody they can't live without it.
Well, it's going to be a daily part of your life, and you better get used to it. But
Right.
I don't know did you see the video of the woman who had a bear on her fence, and it was kind of trying to swipe at her dogs because her dogs were like barking at it and stuff? Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying about fear is and being the big brain tippy top of the food chain. This is a giant bear who's already swatting at things in her backyard. It's a low fence. It's like maybe 4 feet tall fence, and this lady just runs up. It's a big bear, and this little woman just runs up to it and pushes the fuck out of it because it's attacking her dogs, and she didn't have time to consider how afraid she might be. She's and this is the problem is people are walking around all day every day in fear. You know this, you see them, and the truth is, like I said, that's not who we're meant to be. We're meant to be these fearless people because we don't have anything. Here's a giant bear. It's no threat to us. If you're realistic, if you understand who you are, the bear is really not a problem. Like anybody who's seen that video, seen that woman charge that bear and take care of business in a matter of seconds. So, and that bear ran away. It was terrified of her.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about bears being scared of humans like that when you stand up to them. They just take off a lot of times.
Yeah, they're not anything but a grizzly is no threat at all. A grizzly bear,
Yeah.
you gotta approach that correctly. But the black bears, the
Yeah.
brown bears, panda bears, they're not gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. I've never ran into one in the wild, but yeah.
Well,
You live up in Washington, right?
yes, I do. Seattle area.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bear a couple neighborhoods over just a few days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I always tell people we live in the rainforest, and they're like, "You live in a rainforest?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's bears and elk and all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
around there."
Yeah, there's some beautiful parts up there.
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot. I never lived in that area. I've lived in parts of Arizona that are similar up north, and Payson and Prescott area, around the Mogollon Rim, things like that. A lot of elk. There's bears around. I've just never seen them. I've been in places where they're around. Just never came out.
Yeah. Well, I think, like you said, they're pretty shy most of the time. They're really.
Yeah,
They're
they
really.
shoot pretty easily. It always seemed like.
Yeah, they
So.
seem very jumpy. Like if you go, hey, they like jump. They're like, whoa, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you think, tell me, what do you think of the government? Your honest
What do I
opinion.
think of the government?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would call if I was going to put a label and generalize my thoughts in general, I'd probably say something like a minarchist, where I think that we need some form of government, just very little, and
Yeah.
I don't think there needs to be very much.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a minimalist.
I like the anarchist thing. That's I wanna be anarchy.
Not really though, like but somewhat.
Well, when I'm president, I'm legalizing everything. So.
Well, that's great. I agree. I just don't think total anarchy is. I don't think that's in any way, shape.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't see how that could work totally. There's always going to be somebody get screwed over somewhere.
Yeah.
There's always anyway. There's going to be. I think in democracy, and I think a democracy, and capitalism are the two best combinations.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that there are just too many damn laws, right? I mean, every year there's 40,000 new laws that come out of Congress or whatever, something to that effect, and I mean,
the old ones never go away.
Yeah,
that are irrelevant.
Exactly. We already have way too many damn laws, and they just keep piling them on, and that doesn't sound
like. They want to
like.
make sure they can charge you for something and get something, shake you down somehow.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like the land of the free a whole lot to me,
Well, of course, no. Well, no. I mean, we only had glimmers of that, man.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. So when I hear anarchist or anarchy, all I can think of is we can get rid of like 90% of these laws, and I don't think it's going to be a problem at all.
Yeah, I would agree, but I wouldn't. But I wouldn't say total all-out anarchy. I just think it needs to be cut down, slimmed down. Like I'm way too socially liberal to be a conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
Well, it's like a Ron Paul conservative who want marijuana.
I'm not yuppie enough to be, on the other end. I'm like somewhere like I don't really fit in on either. On that spectrum.
Yeah, neither did Ron Paul. He'd be up there talking about legalizing marijuana and freedom being taken away every day, and
that's where I register libertarian, and I've voted libertarian mostly my whole life.
Yeah. Well, Ron Paul was never a real Republican. That's why they
No, of course not.
Yeah.
And Randy's more of a Republican. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm probably nothing else that died in the wool libertarian. So
yeah. And all
I'm not really on either end of it. I'm really like,
and
liberal.
The main platform for libertarians is just freedom. Enough. We don't need to be babysat. Yeah, we don't need to be babysat.
We need you to mediate once in a while and step in when there's a problem. We need certain basic services. Things like that. I like the roads being paid for the way they are. I'm not cool with the stadiums. They pay for their own fucking stadium.
Yeah, I agree. There's no reason that the public in general should be paying their taxes for a team that cost $2 billion, and now we have to spend our money. Well, this guy already has enough money. You know, if he can pay $2 billion for a basketball team, a football team, whatever it is, baseball team, then they can afford to build a fucking coliseum too. They don't need our money. You're just giving it away.
Fucking coliseum to those people. Their
Yeah.
houses are fucking coliseums.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
play it in their backyard.
And
You know,
if it's going to be this big
I'd
profitable,
pay for that.
if it's going to be this big profitable business, which is why rich people who can afford to spend $2 billion, that's the only reason that they do, because it's going to be profitable for them. You know, then again,
Right.
you know, take your new stadium out of those profits, not out of our pockets.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Plus the
I
infrastructure.
usually agree with you like 80% of the time. I've noticed over the years.
Yeah.
Just give them a call.
Yeah, no, a lot of people seem to feel that way, and then I say something, and they're like, "Fuck this guy."
Well, you never agree with anybody 100% of the time, and it also just depends on your fucking mood.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're just like, yeah, I don't even want to hear this shit right now.
I don't want to deal with anything. Leave me alone.
Tune it out for a minute and leave me alone. Fuck it already. Fucking nothing I can do.
Everybody needs that from time to time.
Yeah. Of course.
Uh-oh. Hey, Steve, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I'm going to take a break. It's really good to hear from you. I hope that you'll call back sometime soon.
All right. Well, dude, good talking to you, Mark.
All right, see ya. That's Steve, a new caller, longtime viewer, and it's always nice to hear from you. So I have a really, really good video about people not taking the vaccines. It's from CNN, but I'm going to start off with gun sales skyrocketing because of all the violence going on. So I thought you'd want to see that. It's the new 9/11, people. You better get your guns ready.
Stop building jails and put the money toward counseling and community outreach. That is the pitch from Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to stop the surge in violent crime nationwide. Homicide rates in some of the largest cities are now up more than 20% so far this year. And all of this has gun sales hitting record levels. No big surprise there. Hillary Vaughn is in Arlington, Virginia with the story. Hillary.
Ashley, these numbers showing the rise in crime around the country would scare anybody who's concerned about safety, and gun groups are saying that it is this fear that is triggering a spike in gun sales around the country. Just in the last year, shootings in New York City up 77%. In Portland, shootings there compared to the year before up 120%. And according to The Trace, a new site that tracks new gun purchases, in 2020, gun sales were up 64%, and the highest month for gun sales ever was in June, right when rioting, looting, and protests were gripping the nation. Mark Oliva, a spokesperson for the National Shooting Sports Foundation, says it's not hunting rifles that are driving demand, but handguns that are being used for personal protection, which are the top seller around the nation. They did a survey of retailers and asked them why more customers are coming in.
They said this largely bore out, that people were concerned about their personal safety, the ability of police to be able to respond to a 911 call, and that time in between where they were going to have to be their own first responder.
What's looking like an arms race now in America means shops are having a hard time keeping inventory on the shelf, and prices for things like ammo are going up.
Yes, so we've had probably about 200 to 300% increase in sales over the year. But there's a larger percentage now of new gun owners that never touched a firearm in life.
And the National Shooting Sports Foundation also says that new gun owners are increasing as well. In the last year, 8.4 million people bought a gun for the very first time, showing that they didn't feel like they needed a gun before, but in the last year, something changed. Ashley.
Yeah, that really says something, does it not? Good stuff. Hillary Vaughn, thank you very much in Arlington, Virginia on gun sales.
Okay, So I also have a video for you today about the new supersonic jet that they're talking about building, or I guess they're already building it. I don't know. Somebody's like offering it for sale. I can't remember who it is. So there's a new supersonic jet that they're talking about using as a passenger plane, and all I can think of is, I can't imagine how horrible it would be for people who've never flown a plane before to take over a plane, hijack a supersonic jet, right? People who've never flown a plane before to hijack a supersonic jet and get into that cockpit and fly that supersonic jet right into the Pentagon, 3 feet off the ground, just cruising straight into the Pentagon as fast at supersonic speeds. Can you imagine that? Can you? Flying this amazing technological feat of whatever, this amazing new supersonic jet, flying it straight into the Pentagon, straight into these buildings. Never flown a plane before. That's the new 9/11, people. The new 9/11 is the supersonic jet, and they'll never be able to stop it because it's going so fast. That's your new 9/11. People who've never flown a plane before, getting behind the wheel in the cockpit of a supersonic plane and flying it 3 feet off the ground straight into the Pentagon. It could happen. It could happen, couldn't it? Couldn't it happen? What, you don't believe someone who's never flown a plane before couldn't fly a supersonic jet? All right, well then let's downgrade a little bit. How about someone who's never flown before flying a 747 3 feet off the ground straight into the Pentagon? What, you don't believe that either? Come on, what kind of people are you? That's the official story. If you don't agree with the official story, if you vary from the official story, you're a terrorist. Aren't you people playing around, paying attention? If you don't toe the line for the official story, you're a terrorist, okay? And I'm telling you, some terrorist who's never flown a plane before is going to get behind the wheel of one of these supersonic jets. It's coming, people, and it'll be the new 9/11. Just like someone who never flown before got behind the wheel of a 747 and flew it straight into the Pentagon, inches off the ground. Fucking mind-blowing, huh? Fucking mind-blowing, right? Can't vary from the official story. Just don't even think about it, people, okay? The official story is what happened. You know it's what happened, and I don't know how you can even think about questioning it. Who do you think you are? The government says this is what happened, this is what happened. What do you think? You're the upright, walking, big brain, tippy top of the food chain that can make up your own mind? People don't have to tell you what you're supposed to think? Ha! Is that really who you think you are? Thinking about things all on your own? No, that's not who you are. You are the person that needs to be babysat day in, day out, every second of every day. You have to be babysat because that's what you need. We give you too much freedom, you're going to hang yourself, or you're going to get tangled up and I don't know, wander into the cockpit of a supersonic plane and fly it wherever you want, pinpoint this one area because you've never flown a plane before and you always wanted to fly a supersonic jet. Is that right? Is any of this making sense to you people? Makes sense to me. Mushrooms. Where's Jackie Cat? Speaking of mushrooms, where's Jackie Cat? Okay. So, a chopper flying over your house when you're listening to somebody talk about 9/11? Coincidence? Huh? Coincidence? I think not. And I'd love to have a discussion about 9/11 with anyone, including the new 9/11. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know what you think the future is for our new 9/11. I just want us to be able to relax and enjoy our little lives. We're not billionaires. We're not, traveling around the world, jet setters. We're just simple people trying to live our lives and find little things that we can enjoy. And these goddamn cunts in the fucking mainstream media. It's not just the mainstream media, the local news, right? You're just trying to enjoy your bowl of pasta fagioli, right? You're just trying to enjoy it because it's so good and you've been wanting it for so long. Oh, it's so good. And then some dickhole fucking news media says, oh my God, the pasta fagioli soup is going to kill you. What? Yeah, the pasta fagioli. It's the new 9/11. We're all going to die. Yes, we are all going to die. But we'd like the opportunity to breathe and enjoy something before we do. Okay? Oh, the COVID's going to kill everyone. It's the plague. We're all going to die. It's the new 9/11. Okay. Well, I just like to enjoy my little bowl of pasta fagioli before we all die, okay? Before the terrorists all come and kill us. Because the terrorists are coming, people. Didn't you see them all on Capitol Hill on January 6th? They're everywhere. They're coming to get you. The terrorist. You can't enjoy your food. You can't enjoy your day at the beach because the terrorists, they're everywhere. You have to be on guard constantly. If you see something, say something. Fear. And I don't know. I imagine that most people are like me. They just want a second to breathe and enjoy whatever there is to enjoy, right? A sunset, a cool breeze, a walk with your dog, sex, food, all these things are, a hot shower. I haven't had a hot shower in a week. The water heater blew up. So, haven't been able to take a bath for a few days. And one of my favorite things about being human, again, talking about the simple things that we want to enjoy, the simple things, I imagine that most of us aren't really that difficult to please. The problem is we've been fed all this negativity, terror, fear. So it makes it hard just to enjoy something simple like a bowl of pasta fagioli. That being said, one of my favorite things about being human is warm running water. I love warm running water. It's so awesome. Whoever invented warm running water, I'd like to shake their hand. Which makes me think, have you ever seen the monkeys that hang out in the what do they call those, hot springs? They hang out and they just chill in the hot springs and there'll be snow all around them. Again, there's these simple things in life. Like I said, warm water. I love warm water. It's one of my favorite things about being human. So, which seems like a really simple thing. Like I said, it's easy to make humans, it's easy for them to enjoy something. As long as they're not tense in the back of their brain, as long as they're not going something, nagging at you, it makes it a lot more difficult to enjoy. Whether it's the terrorist, new 9/11, the plague is going to kill us all. It's like they don't want you to enjoy anything. Oh, we have to lock down all the restaurants. Oh, you can't go to concerts. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Can't go to school. They don't want us to enjoy anything. You can't talk to your neighbor. You can't give people hugs. It's so weird when, about a month ago or so, they started saying, "Oh, well, if you're fully immunized, you can give someone a hug now, uh, as long as they're fully immunized, also, and you might, whatever, as long as they're properly fully vaccinated, you can hug them." I haven't stopped hugging people the whole time. I don't hug that many people, but I've hugged at least 4 or 5 of them. You know, not just 4 or 5 times I've hugged people. I've hugged 4 or 5 different people repeatedly, many times during the plague, and I didn't need permission from the fucking government to say, "Oh, it's okay now. If you fully vaccinated, you can hug someone." Yeah, I've been doing that all along because you're not the fucking boss of me. Okay? Fuck the government. Fuck all the terrorists in the United States originate from the U.S. government. Okay? That's the way I see it. Their creation. They're the ones that are hiding FBI hijackers in an FBI safe house up until a week before 9/11. Okay, so 9/11 hijackers were living in an FBI safe house up until a week or 10 days before 9/11. I guess that doesn't matter. I guess that makes sense to everyone. Again, the terrorists are in our government, in the FBI, in the CIA, in the NSA, in the Department of Homeland Security. They're all a bunch of terrorists. In our local police departments. They're all terrorists. In the media. The media is constantly terrorizing you. They are truly the real terrorists. Any police force that pepper sprays a 9-year-old handcuffed girl an inch from her face, they're the fucking terrorist. Do you piece of shit cops hear me? Okay? You're going to terrorize 9-year-old little girls? Handcuff 9-year-old little girls? Fuck you. You're a fucking terrorist. You are the fucking terrorist, and the public needs to be protected from you, from the CIA, from the FBI, from the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, from the government. Okay? The people. The government is supposed to be the ones that are, the reason they make all these laws every year is for your protection, for the protection of the people. But that's not what's happening, because the government is the real terrorist. Doesn't matter if it's CIA, NSA, DHS, FBI, local police, government. They're the terrorists. That's where all the terrorism, I left out the mainstream media. And again, it's not just the mainstream, the local also. But that's where the majority of 99% of the terror in this country comes from Congress, the White House, the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, Department of Homeland Security, and local police, and the media. That's where 99% of any terror that you feel, right? Terrorism, terrorists are there to, literally, the word says terror in their name, in their definition, in their label. Terrorists are there to spread terror. Terrorism is there to spread terror. Who's doing that? Our local police, our media, our government. Again and again and again. They're spreading terror constantly in your life. Okay? So if anybody thinks that the government isn't the real terrorist, please call now. The number's right there on the screen. I'd love to have a discussion with you about how the government is or is not the real terrorist. Because it's pretty obvious to me that the government, the media, the police, CIA, FBI, Pentagon, NSA, Department of Homeland Security, goes on and on. They're the ones causing all the terror in this country. Or at least 99.9% of it would be my guess. and they look at us like they're public servants, like they're there to protect us. They're there to inform us. No, they're there to terrorize us. They're there to treat us like we're little children who don't know any better. Here's the official story, right? So just get that in your head, because that's the only story there is. If you vary from that story, you are now considered a terrorist. Okay? But the real terrorist is the government, is the FBI, is the local police, is the media. Again, I'd love to talk with anybody about this. You can see the phone number on the screen, right? Because I think this is an important discussion to have. Who's really terrorizing the people of the United States, right? I think it's pretty obvious who's terrorizing, who's causing 99% of the terror in this country. Pretty fucking obvious. And if you have an opinion on it, I'd love to know. So, since we're not getting any callers, and I don't believe I have a donation to take a bong hit for yet. Oh, look at that! Yeah, baby! Okay, Pete, I'll have a bong hit coming up for you in just a moment. But I want to play this video about the new supersonic jets that they're discussing putting in the sky, because all I can think about is how terrifying it is that there's going to be these supersonic jets, and that somebody who's never flown a plane before could hijack it and get behind the wheel of this supersonic jet and fly it. People who've never flown a plane before, fly it right into some skyscraper building or the Pentagon, even though they've never flown a plane before. And this is one of the most technologically advanced pieces of machinery on the planet. Of course you can get in there and fly it. You don't need any training. A 6-year-old could do it, as long as they can reach the pedals. I don't think a 747 has pedals. But you get what I'm saying. This is the government. This is our government. Somebody's got to reel it in. And if you say that, if you talk about reeling in this government, stopping this government from committing terror all over the fucking world, then you're a terrorist. Then you're a troublemaker. Any troublemaker is now a terrorist. That's what the people on January 6th were doing. They were protesting. And we got to hear all these cops go, "Oh my God, it's so unfair. I was so victimized on that day." How about all the fucking protesters that got fucked up, that got their contusions on their head, these motherfuckers that want to call themselves Capitol Hill Police are literally, they got retractable or a fucking baton that's retractable. You push a button and it flicks out, and they're literally not smacking people like it's a stick. They're jabbing people right in their fucking heads like it's a knife, trying to poke out people's eyes, trying to poke out people's teeth. That's who the piece of shit cops were on January 6th. They weren't fucking heroes. The people that were protesting were heroes. I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. Donald Trump can go and rot in hell for all eternity, for all I care. I would be perfectly good with that. No problem whatsoever. The protesters on January 6th, which are now being called domestic terrorists, they were just Americans standing up to demand that their representative government hear their voices. They weren't terrorists. They didn't want to fight. They just wanted to go and occupy the people's house, which is what they did. They didn't burn anything. They didn't graffiti anything. They didn't rip down 100-year-old paintings. They didn't topple 100-year-old statues. They simply went, "Wow, look at this place," in awe. And every time the cops got out of their way, they stepped aside. Every time the cops stepped aside, they were shaking their hand and patting them on the back. "Thanks for your service." And I'll bet you the majority of people that were reaching out to shake their hands and patting them on the back were saying, "Thank you for your service." Okay? So all these people that want to turn them into domestic terrorists somehow, again, those are the real terrorists. The mainstream media, the government, the law enforcement, they're the real terrorists. And they're going, oh, look over there. Those people are the terrorists. It's not us. It's those people that are the terrorists. That's what the mainstream media is doing day in, day out. It's new 9/11. The terrorists are coming. Terrorists, 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 terrorists. When they're the ones that are the terrorists. They're the ones that are spreading terror daily. Oh, but no, those people on January 6th, they're the terrorists. They didn't blow anything up. They didn't shoot anybody in the neck for a kill shot unnecessarily. Ashley Babbitt got shot right in the neck. Unarmed veteran Ashley Babbitt, kill shot right to the neck, right there. That's a kill shot every time. She was no threat to the person who did it. The person who killed her, who we still don't know that person's name. We still don't know that person's identity. I'd really like to know. I'd really, really, really like to know who murdered Ashley Babbitt. Because that person has a price to pay. Again, she was no real threat to them. She was simply coming through a door. And boom. Kill shot. So I'm done with this government. I'm done with this media. I'm done with everybody being terrorists except for the real terrorists. Everybody's a fucking terrorist except for the real terrorist, the one spreading terror on a daily basis. Everybody else is a terrorist. All right, I'm going to play the video about the supersonic jet so that you know that one of these days, some person who's never flown before in their life is going to get behind the wheel of this supersonic jet, and they're going to crash it into buildings. You watch. You watch. Because that makes so much sense that someone who's never flown an aircraft before can pinpoint this little spot on a jumbo fucking 747 when they've never flown before. That makes so much fucking sense, right? They're going to do it with the supersonic jets next. Because terror, 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 terror.
Meanwhile, New York to London in 3 hours? What do you think? United Airlines is planning to buy 15 supersonic planes that could be in the air by the end of the decade. Here is the CEO of Boom Supersonic talking about the big deal. Listen.
Supersonic is back. It's back in a big way, and it's here to stay. What we can get excited about here is high-speed travel that's going to be available to tens of millions of people. From Newark, New York to London is going to be 3.5 hours. And what that means is instead of that being a painful overnight flight, you can leave in the morning, make a late afternoon meeting in London, go out to dinner, and then be home to tuck your kids into bed that same day.
Just not till 2029. Shayna Sissel and Courtney Dominguez are back. So, I mean, this honestly reminded me, first thing I thought about was the Concorde. And I think all of us remember the Concorde. But I remember when it finally shut down in 2003, if you go back and look at the prices, it was like it was $8,000, I remember, even in the 90s, to take a round trip on the Concorde. Do you think that this is going to be just expensive? And Shayna, do you think that there's actually a market out there for a return to fast travel?
So I think yes and no. 3.5 hours to London versus 5 out of New York. I don't know if that's enough for me to want to pay a premium price, quite frankly. And I don't really know anyone that's going to do like a day trip to London. You can get there in 3.5 hours and 3.5 hours back, do a 1-hour meeting. Like with all the technology we have today, if we learn nothing from the pandemic, is that really necessary to spend that and put yourself through that? It would have to come down significantly in price for people to really want to do it. I'd be way more interested in supersonic travel to go to Asia. I don't know if that's going to happen because noise pollution is a huge issue with these supersonic planes. And that's one of the reasons why they've always just been sort of over the Atlantic, because the sonic boom aspect of it is really disruptive. So, Asia would be more interesting to me. That I might, pay up for and not having to take a 24-hour flight.
Well,
but I don't know if I would pay a premium to go to London.
Well, Courtney, he did say that when he was on with Liz, he said it would be like 6 hours from New York to Tokyo, just to add. But I was looking again, I'm going back to the pricing because I'm focused on how expensive it's going to be. And in today's pricing, it would be $12,900 for a round trip from New York to London on the Concorde. Okay, so with these really, really high prices, and Shana makes a great point. I'm saving 2 hours. Big deal.
Which I think is the leisure travel. I completely agree with that. I mean, I'm not going to, on my own dime on vacation, kind of pay for that personally. But I think it's kind of interesting to look at with these airlines is they're really trying to capitalize on the business traveler, because business travelers are actually about less than a third of the seats, but more than half of revenue of most airlines. And so if you can make it more time efficient for your business traveler, because you tend to see that your corporations are going to be a little less cost sensitive than your leisure travel is. The question is, can they capture that? So I think it is like there's potential there, but I agree with you. I mean, at those prices, it's going to be only like some major top corporations that are even looking at that for very few employees. So, I think we'd have to see the price come down somewhat on that.
Yeah, and to your point about business travelers, I'm surprised by so many people I talk to that are ready to come back to the office. And a lot of those business travelers that I talk to that say they're ready to get back in the air, that they hate Zoom. Zoom doesn't work. You've got to be face to face. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Ladies, thank you. We'll see you in just a little bit. All right.
All right, so I owe our buddy Drunk Pete a big fat dab because he generously just donated $20 to Mox News. Thank you very much, Pete. That's incredibly generous of you. You are a scholar among men. Well, we are doing a pizza gift card giveaway. We have a lovely Domino's pizza gift card. And Pete, like I said, generously donated $20. If we get to the $50 mark, we will give away the pizza gift card. And we'd love to do that. We'll give it away to the 5th caller or the 6th caller. I haven't decided yet. 5th or 6th caller. So I'm just waiting for this to cool down just a little bit, because it gets very hot, and if I burn the rosin too hot, it makes my throat sore, and I don't like that. I go, oh my God, I'm getting the COVID. Oh, you just took a fucking dab too hot, dude. What are you talking about? Nah. You're a baller. Is that what you're saying? You're a baller? All right, you ready? This one's for our good friend, Drunk Pete. Thanks so much, Pete. Thank you, Pete. I'm feeling much better now. That is my first bong hit of the day. And I only have 2 left because I blew a fuse right before I came on the show. And I wasn't able to heat up my my rosin press, my flower press. So I only have 2 dabs left. I would love to do one in your honor. If we get to $50, we will give away the pizza gift card. Pete just donated $20, so we're almost halfway there. And I'd love to give away the pizza gift card. And it's always nice when I get a donation from some wonderful viewer. It makes a big difference in my life. So, besides letting me know that you appreciate what it is I do, it also helps me buy groceries. Because I wouldn't ask for help. I wouldn't ask for donations if I didn't need it. I don't know what the point would be. So because if I had money, I really wouldn't need money. If I had enough money to get through the month every month, I wouldn't be asking people for money. But I don't have that. One of these days, I doubt it. And that's why you have the picture of me sitting in an alleyway with a shopping cart full of TVs, tuned to MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, all the players. That's why you see that, is because that's where I'm going to wind up one of these days. In an alleyway with a shopping cart. Oh well. It is what it is. Won't you help keep this man off the street? We don't want to. I need the sad puppy dog eyes. Won't you help? Help this poor puppy survive. Without your help, we're going to have to put him to sleep. I hate those commercials. It's like, and it's not because it's sad, it's because they're trying to play on your emotions. Oh my God, look at that poor dog in the freezing snow. How horrible some people are. I'm not horrible like them. I'm going to give a donation right now so that puppy doesn't have to die. There's camera people standing right there, making sure they get the right shot of this dog who's supposed to be on the verge of death, but they got to get the proper camera shot first so they can make money off of it. Instead of picking it up out of the snow, drying him off, giving him a warm place, maybe some food. No, we got to get the proper shot so we can, blackmail people into believing that if they don't give money, we're going to kill this puppy. What's up, G?
Michael.
Hey, Pete.
Michael.
How's it going, bro?
Right. That's right, motherfucker. You know who it is. It's your motherfucking boy, Carl. That's right.
Right on. How are you doing?
That's right. I'm doing good.
Did you get
right. Everyone in the fucking chat, their dick is getting hard right now.
Is that right?
They're fucking so excited right now.
Did you get vaccinated yet?
Fuck no, bro. Actually, that's interesting that you bring that up, Michael, because that's something that I did want to talk to you about. Was the I guess employers now are allowed to essentially force their employees to get a vaccine if you're going to work for their company. And in my industry, I work in the scientific, pharmaceutical, biotech industry.
Right.
Where that type of thing is I anticipate that's going to be a very common phenomenon now, where if you don't get a COVID vaccine, you're going to be looked at like you're some type of fucking weirdo.
You're a threat.
But yeah, but how fucked up is that? Like, companies, I don't think companies have any right to tell people what vaccinations they can and cannot get. I don't even like that they can tell us when we go over to other countries. Like,
yeah.
Fuck you, what?
Yeah.
I hate to go back to the cliche abortion thing, but it's it's my body, my choice, brah.
Yeah.
That's how I've always felt about it.
Yeah. That's partially why I was asking you. I was wondering if the new job is going to require you to do that. You think?
I don't know, bro, but I just read that the other day, and shit, I have very conflicting feelings about it. I obviously I don't want to get it, but I don't know. I guess I got to do what I got to do to make my coin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have a video tonight about people not wanting to get the vaccine, and it has a couple of people discussing not wanting to get the vaccine and why, and one of those people, their employer said that they are not going to allow anyone to be employed where she works if they don't get the vaccine, and this person, I have this video, she's saying. News commentator, the prostitute, is asking her, so are you willing to give up your job instead of getting the vaccine? She said, I'm not getting the vaccine. She made it real clear. Yeah, I don't care about the job if they're gonna be like that. I have other priorities.
It's really fucked up, man. Like this should spark protests like the fucking George Floyd death did, in my opinion. This is like a really serious violation of our fucking human rights. That's what I think.
I agree.
I don't know, but I don't think a lot of people feel that way, though. A lot of people are just like, yeah, you should get the vaccine. Why don't you get? You know, I don't know. I guess people don't have the distrust in the system that you and I do, but it's fucked up, man. I shouldn't be forced into this.
Yeah, in my opinion, what you said is exactly right. My body, my choice, and who the fuck are you to give me shit about my choice? Okay? It's already a hard enough decision because everybody's saying, oh, we're all going to die from the plague, and you don't want to get sick and then possibly infect other people. At the same time, you don't want to take a vaccine.
Well, by the way, there is no long-term data on what these vaccines do to you. Yeah, they're all mRNA, whatever, vaccines. Most of them, actually, whatever. A lot of them are different. But there's no long-term data. And then, they've been rushing to release these vaccines. And we found out that, the J&J vaccine in rare cases can cause, blood clotting issues that people die from. And, we really don't understand the side effects of a lot of these vaccines. There's not a lot of long-term data. And really, that's the only way that I will get a vaccine. The only reason I'm okay with getting, like, a polio vaccine or, a lot of these vaccines that have been around for a long time, it's like, okay, I'm for that. We have enough data to see these vaccines are safe and effective. But I just don't feel that way.
What about a flu vaccine? Have you ever got a flu vaccine?
No, I don't get the flu vaccine. I never got a flu vaccine. Look, dude, if this is the way I feel about it, and if you're a young person like me, I'm 34 years old. I'm a young, healthy man. I take no medication. I have no health problems. Why the fuck do I need to get a vaccine? If you have a perfectly healthy immune system, fuck that bullshit. Vaccines are for weak people. Vaccines are for old people, immunocompromised people that have weak immune systems. If you're a young, healthy person, you really don't got to worry about it. And if you are a young person who gets COVID and you have serious symptoms, they'll give you some remdesivir or whatever in the fucking hospital. They'll treat you, and then you find out that you are like a susceptible person, and then you get a vaccine. But most people, the overwhelming majority of people, young healthy people, don't really got to worry about this bullshit. It's it's like what you talk about, the fear.
Yeah.
And that's what the media does. They got to scare the fucking shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Into getting these nonsense bullshit vaccines where you don't need to. Just like the same thing with the flu, They're always telling everyone, whenever you're trying to scare the shit out of everyone with the flu, you could die from the flu. Like, who dies from the fucking flu, dude? No young person. Only if you're old. Only if you're old, have health problems, you're immunocompromised, you got heart condition, whatever. Then okay, then I can understand it. But, if you're a young, healthy person, fuck that bullshit.
I don't trust. Look, these people lie. I've said this again and again. There's a problem with for-profit medicine. For-profit medicine has alternative motives than just getting you well. which should be the only motivation for any kind of medical procedure, whether it be a vaccine or pills or, whatever it is, surgery. It should only be about getting you well, not making some piece of garbage who wants to refer themselves as, a public servant or whatever, a healer. It shouldn't be about making that person rich. Or insurance people rich, which it's about again and again and again. That's the alternative.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
That's the alternative motive that I keep talking about, is that how many people go into medicine because they know they're going to be making $1 million plus a year. This is
I did. That's what I did.
There you go.
It's fucked up. Yeah, you're right. It's it is fucked up, and I'm not the type of person, like, I consider myself a quote unquote conservative. I don't really believe in the government getting involved in our lives that much. But one thing I think our government should be involved in is healthcare. I think, like most of the developed world, we're like the only developed country that doesn't have like a governmental healthcare system, where it's like if you don't work for like some major corporation, you don't have health insurance. Like, it's so fucked up, man. It's fucking ridiculous, and you should be able to go to the hospital regardless of what fucking job you have, and be able to get fucking treatment.
I agree 100%. Healthcare should not be for the rich, for people who can afford it. That is not what healthcare should be about. And disgusting, that's the kind of healthcare that we have. If you can afford it, you can get it.
Yeah, Obama, I feel like Obama kind of tried to do something about that, but he just created this hybrid, like, corporate fascist government healthcare system where it's just, he just ended up making it worse. During the campaign, he promised that he was going to push as hard as he could for single-payer health care, and then once he got into the White House, he never talked about single-payer health care at all. He talked about health care constantly. He pushed his health care initiative, but it got so watered down to the point where it just became serving the corporate medical entities
and insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point, it was just just putting taxpayer dollars into the pockets of the medical insurance industrial complex. I guess we could call it that, right? That's what it is. Sick and disgusting. It makes me fucking sick.
It's just not the way you would think a civilized society would act. We're supposed to be civilized. If you're civilized and you care about people who need help, that's all there is.
When you listen to people in America, there's a lot of like the quote unquote conservatives in America that say, well, the Europeans have to pay so much more in taxes because their healthcare system has to pay for the healthcare. I'm like, yeah, it should. Like, American taxpayers, our tax dollars go into some stupid fucking bullshit. I mean, this shit. There's one thing that it should go into is fucking healthcare.
Yeah.
Our tax dollars go into so much bullshit. It goes into like supporting like Israel. It goes into tax breaks for like multinational corporations. It goes into all types of fucking wasteful bullshit. One thing that we should spend government money on is our own people's fucking health.
I've always said that it's a matter of national security, and anyone can understand that, because if you have a healthy population, it's going to be 10 times more productive than if you have an unhealthy, what did I say? An unhealthy population. It's
yeah, that's right.
So it's a matter
right.
of national security. Go ahead.
You're right. No, that's absolutely right, because if you have a mountain of medical bills, you're not exactly going to be contributing to the economy in other ways that could be more productive to the economy, because you're just trying to constantly pay off your fucking medical bills.
Which is
It's
something
ridiculous.
sick people shouldn't have to worry about. Okay, again, that's not a civilized society. That's you know, big dog eat little dog, or whatever they say. You know, I mean, it's like Pete was saying, it's health care for people who can afford it, and those who can't, you know, let them eat cake. So, and that's not the way a civilized society would work, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, well, Mike, we have to support our military. If fuck our nation's health, fuck the health of our people. We have to make sure that we support Israel and that we fight these quote unquote terrorists in the Middle East. That's our main priority, right? Like, fuck everybody else. We need to put all of the American tax dollars into that, and that's where the money's got to go. You know, fuck the people. They can pay for their own shit, right?
This is the way it's been my whole life. Although it's gotten really, really bad in the last 20 years, I never really noticed it all that much before 2001. I never really, before 2000, the election of 2000 really kind of opened my eyes as to this bullshit. And I don't know if the government's always been like that, but you could just see it. It's just headed this more and more dark direction ever since that date, ever since that election, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, of course, yeah, we all know that.
More bacon.
That,
I gotta thank Craig for the bacon and Pete for the generous donation. Thanks so much, Pete.
Yo, Craig was telling me that your fucking bitch ass fucking vegan neighbors bitch about you guys cooking bacon on the grill outside. Like, dude, that shit would make me I would fucking cook a whole goddamn fucking pork roast on the fucking grill if my neighbors were like that. Like, fuck you. You guys
It's
are
like,
fucking bitch ass
like,
neighbors, bro. Fuck those motherfuckers.
It's not that they so much have a problem with us as that they want bacon. They can't have any. So they're like, God damn it, if I can't have bacon, no one else can.
Yeah. Stop tempting me with that delicious smell. You fucking bitch ass fucking vegan motherfuckers. Suck a dick.
So what are you doing this weekend, man?
Lamb chops on my fucking grill all day. That's what it's all about. It's all about the grill, dog.
Man,
what's better than grilled meat? Nothing.
When I was a kid, my dad used to get these steaks that were like 2 inches thick. They were chuck steaks. That's what they were always called, chuck steaks. And they were 2 inches thick. They were like the kind of ribs they had it in the or you know, the Flintstones. It's like Flintstones fucking steak, right? Just fucking gigantic. Like one or two steaks would be enough to feed 4 or 5 people. So he'd get these giant steaks and he'd put them on the grill. And I can't find anything like that anymore. The chuck steaks at the store are thin and they don't have any bones in them, and it's just not the same thing. This one had a bone that ran through it. And I'm telling you, that was some of the best steak I ever had. And I got to call.
They don't sell. You're right. They don't sell thick cuts like that anymore. I guess that's because of inflation, because that shit's expensive now. So I think it's better for the meat companies to cut it up into the smaller portions. I don't know, but yeah, you're absolutely right. But there's nothing better than a nice fucking lamb chop on the fucking grill, or a nice fucking flank steak, nice New York strip. Burn that shit up, baby, all day long.
Craig loves the lamb chops. I used to work in this restaurant in Tahoe, and they made a rack of lamb. That was just fucking out of this world. Hard to believe how good it was. I've never liked lamb before or after that, but that was something. And now I'm spoiled, so I doubt I'm ever going to have anything that good.
Yeah, that's the way I am when I go home to visit my parents. My dad's always grilling shit. And he cooks some lamb chops on the grill that blow my fucking mind. It's like better than any restaurant I've ever fucking been to.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Right on. That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, so fuck your fucking gay-ass fucking vegan neighbors bitching and shit. That shit would piss me off. I'd be grilling so much shit just to fucking irritate them. What a bunch of pusswags.
Let's see how they respond to fucking
gay.
skunks living in the backyard.
That's fucking lame as fuck, dog. That's some lame-ass neighbors.
I got skunks living in the backyard now. We'll see how they respond to that.
Is that skunks or is that your weed plants? Or do you not grow your weed plants there?
Yeah, backyard. And there's some stinky fucking skunks. I'll tell you right now. So we'll see how the
talking about the skunk plants.
Yeah. So we'll see how the neighbors respond to that.
All right, nice.
Yeah, I just picked up fertilizers. I like to use, I can use like natural fertilizers when I garden outside, like bat guano and worm castings and stuff like that. I don't like to use it in the house because they off gas, and I don't want to be breathing that stuff in. I understand breathing in bat guano can be dangerous, so I just use
What
this.
is it? Bat
guano. Bat guano. Bat poop.
Oh, bat shit.
Yeah.
Oh, like Ace Ventura. I bet it's very nutrient rich though.
Yeah.
Great fertilizer.
Oh yeah, it's really it right now. If you go to buy like an amended soil, it's one of the main things that it's one of the things you'll always find in amended soil is bat guano.
Now, of all the fertilizers that you could use, you choose bat. Is that why people eat bats?
I don't know why people eat bats, but in China they eat everything. I guess it's a matter of starving, and here's a bat, or you go starving. I mean, back in the day, 1,000 years ago, I understand it could be pretty rough in China. So if you get the chance to eat a fucking bat, you're gonna eat a fucking bat. But as far as the guanos, the fertilizers I use fish bone, I use crab shell, I use kelp, I use bat guano, and I use worm castings.
Cool, bro. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about weed fertilization. I bet if my buddy was here, I bet you he would have a million questions. He's a big weed cultivator.
Yeah. Well.
I bet you.
Yeah.
I bet you he would have lots of questions. But he has a pretty successful little grow operation in his little house. He lives in this little 500 square foot house, and in his basement he has this big tent. He doesn't make a lot of money, but he has the most fantastic grow operation in his basement in this little tent. It's fucking incredible. You walk in there, it's like walking into the fucking Amazon rainforest or something. It's fucking incredible.
That does sound pretty good, dude. It's the way you've described his flowers in the past. It sounds like he's growing as good as it gets. So I hope to one day grow those kind of flowers. I haven't done it yet, but I will one day.
Yeah, bro. This kid knows. He knows what he's fucking doing. I don't know how. I don't know how he figured it out. He just
practice.
He just. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He did a lot of practice on his own, and he's been doing this for God, I don't even know how long. When did he start doing this shit? It must have been 11 or 12 years now that he's been doing this shit.
Yeah.
His plants at this point are ridiculous. He has the most ridiculous hash. That's not even from his buds. Just he gets the most ridiculous hash just from his leaves, the leaves of his plants. And I smoked some hash with him where I was like, dude, this is blowing my mind. This is the highest I've ever been in my life. And he's like, dude, this is just my leaves. I haven't even tried. I haven't even made hash with my buds. If I made hash with my buds like this, we would be like tripping, like we were doing mushrooms or something. You know?
Well, it sounds like he should be making hash out of his flowers, dude. If that's what the case, because tripping on weed sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, hey man, when you haven't fucking smoked weed in like a super long time, you know, like dude, I haven't gotten high on marijuana in 2.5 months.
It's pronounced marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 months, bro. 2 months since I got high. Dude, the next time I get high, I'm going to get so blitzed. I'm going to go to another dimension, like a Tim Leary dimension.
That sounds really good. That's what I'm saying. So, like, you haven't done it for 2 months, right? It's going to be maybe 3 months before you actually get to do it. So, this is what you want. You want your friend to make some fucking hash, the amazing hash that he knows how to make, only with his fucking amazing flowers. And then that's the first thing you smoke. And you go, dude, is this real life? You know?
Dude, well, yeah, the last time I smoked, it was 2 months ago, right? And before that, it was like I hadn't smoked in like a month, and I went to fucking Jupiter. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the next time that I do it, I got to make a whole trip out of it. I got to like plan it or something like that. You know, it's going to be unbelievable. I'm sure of it.
You're
I'm lucky that I have a friend who is a cultivator, who's like an expertise. He literally busts out, like, when I go to his house and visit him, he has like different levels of hash. He's like, okay, this is the low grade hash, this is the medium grade hash, and this is the super high, unbelievable. This is like the best of the best. And whenever I come over, he always busts out the best, and then he sprinkles that over like the best weed that he has.
Yeah.
You know,
it's good to have friends.
It's like that. Oh, it's yeah. And he's been my best friend since like 6th grade. You know.
Yeah.
And we're like fucking 34 now, so that's my fucking boy. That's my G right there.
You remember in Pulp Fiction when John Travolta goes to score and he's like, "Oh, this stuff's okay, and this stuff's really good, but this is the shit right here."
Yeah. This shit, the whole fucking what's her face, fucking
Irma Thuman.
Oh. Yeah, Uma Thurman. You better hope she doesn't fucking accidentally snort this and you have to fucking stab her in the heart with the fucking needle. You drive your fucking car into the fucking lawn.
Oh, that was a pretty car,
like, bro. Oh, man. Best movie ever.
It's a great movie. You know, when I went to see it, Pete, I saw it on the big screen. And when I went to see it, I hadn't seen a single trailer. I hadn't seen anything written up about it in the news. It was just like Pulp Fiction. Like, And I was like, well, let's go see that. You know, it's got these people in it. Let's go see that. And it just it was like the best screenplay I've ever seen.
All of his movies are fantastic. Did you see the Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Did you see that?
Yeah.
You didn't like it, did you?
It was okay. I wasn't impressed.
I love that movie.
Yeah. I love Django.
It was great.
I love Pulp Fiction. I love Kill Bill. I like Crazy 8. But I wasn't a big fan of that one.
That was a little bit of the tip of the hat to the Charles Manson community.
Yeah, well, that's what I understand it was pretty much all about.
Yeah. I love that. Well, it was all about them, you know, murdering the Manson cult.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fucking super awesome.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool seeing Bruce Stern in there. Bruce Stern, he's an actor from back in the day who I thought was pretty cool. And he's getting up there now, so it's nice to see he's still around.
Who did he play in that movie? I don't remember.
He played the old guy in the bed. It was like out in the, you know, they had this kind of place where the people, the commune or whatever. He was the old guy in the bed. I think he was maybe the leader.
Oh, yeah, the blind guy, the guy who went blind.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I just want to make sure these girls aren't taking advantage of you. And he's like, no, fuck you, go away.
He's great, dude. He's made a lot of really interesting movies.
All Tarantino shit's fucking fantastic. You gotta love the guy.
He
hasn't made a fucking bad movie in his whole career. God bless him.
Well, it's a worthy watch, whatever it is he's done, if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, like I said, it's one of the best screenplays ever written, in my opinion.
Yo, this ain't no dead white man storage in my garage. There ain't a sign in my garage that says dead white man storage.
That is such a good movie. And that comes out, that hits you in the face like a ton of bricks when he says that. And I'm so glad that it was Tarantino who was playing that part, right? He's like this pussy whip fucking guy. And he's calling these guys out, these fucking hitmen. He's right in their face. You know, it's pretty fucking funny, dude.
Dude, my favorite scene in that is where he's like, yo, Marcellus killed some motherfucker for giving his wife a foot massage. He's like, what? A foot massage? He's like, yeah, man, that's some intimate shit. You don't give a motherfucker's wife a fucking foot massage? You get killed over some shit like that. He's like, really? He's like, yeah. That's you don't do that shit. You might as well be having sex with a guy's wife if you give her a foot massage. That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, the back and forth between those two, you know, like one person sees it this way and one person sees it this way, and it's like they're always kind of, one side is just like so obvious and right, and the other side is like, well, you know, kind of convoluted. It's a great movie. I
could quote that movie. Yo, Mike, you okay? No. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's the final scene with when they're in the restaurant, right? Oh no, yeah, that's when he's picked.
After Marcellus gets raped and Bruce Willis fucking saves him. He's like, "Yo, Marcellus, are we cool?"
Yeah.
He's like, "We're cool. Are you okay?" He's like, "Nah, man, I'm pretty fucking far from okay. I'm gonna call some pipe hitting niggas and come down fucking with some blow torches."
Yeah.
Torches, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like,
the blow
so
torch.
great.
The blow torch is some
ever.
scary shit, dude. Yeah, I love that movie, and all the actors in it just do fucking great job. You know, I'm not a big fan of Bruce Willis, but that's such a good movie, dude. It's a chopper, baby.
No, Bruce Willis actually kind of stinks, but yeah, he was great in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything Tarantino does is great. Hey, yo, I wanted to say real quick that I'm a terrorist, mate.
Yeah, I think we all are. I'm sure that's the way the government looks at all of us.
No, you don't understand, bro. I'm a real terrorist. Like, you're gonna be mad about what I'm gonna tell you right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm a real terrorist because I applied to Moderna. I applied for a job at Moderna.
Is that
making mRNA?
Is that where your friends work in Massachusetts?
No, they don't work for Moderna. They work for a different company.
I thought you were going to go to work there. I thought they were begging you to come to work there.
Yeah, well, I've been trying. Bro, do you know how brutal it is to go through, like, interviews? I've been doing so many interviews lately. I would rather be fucking waterboarded than do this shit, for real.
Yeah.
It's like fucking human torture, dog. It's fucking brutal. Where you get interviewed by some director of fucking whatever, and he's fucking asking you all these questions. What's your greatest weakness? What's your greatest strength? Give me an example of a time where you disagreed with an employee and you resolved issues.
What's your greatest weakness? Well, I'm a chronic masturbator. Does that count?
Yeah, like that's the shit you want to say. Like you have to be, dude. It sucks. But you have to be such a phony asshole with these fucking people and try to sound professional. Like, oh, it's the fucking worst. And they all, I've been through a couple interviews now, right? And they all ask the same fucking dumbass fucking question, and you just have to kiss ass. And it's like, I just want a job. I just want to work. I just want to be a person. Go fuck yourself. I just want to have a career and like learn. You know, what the fuck? Why you gotta make me fucking lick your boots? You fucking cock-sucking corporate pricks. It's terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, I just can't imagine having to go through that, Pete. I feel like I'd rather be homeless. But that's just me, you know. I don't want to bow down to people, you know. I don't want to have to be working somewhere where some fucking dickhole is asking me why I'm 5 minutes late again, or telling me that I need to get a fucking haircut, or you know, just not appreciating me like the amazing person that I am. So I'd rather be homeless, dude.
Well, look, man, I got to get a job, and my personality shines through. Like, I'm a talented motherfucker. Like, I you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Any company that I work for, like, I make them a lot of money, regardless of whatever it is.
Yeah,
I'm going through the process of, you know, trying to get a job, and I'm just going through like so many interviews and shit, and it's that's the most painful thing. Is like, once you get the job, it's fine, you know, but the interview process is where it's like, you know, you're almost like some subhuman, you know, and it's like you got a gun to your head or something, you know, and they're like interrogating you like you're fucking Al Qaeda or something, and you know, and you have to like prove yourself and prove your worth to people. And that's like what is like the most disgusting thing about job interviews. It's terrible. And by the way, I don't normally sound like this. I'm fucking drunk as fuck right now. So,
no way.
You know,
I've heard you drunk as fuck before, Pete. You are not dysfunctional when you're drunk as fuck.
Well, I'm drunk as shit right now, so you should hear me on a job interview. I sound like 20 times more cognizant. And I'm like super professional, and even that is not good enough for these fucking corporate fucking bootlicking cocksuckers.
Yeah, they just want
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. Like, I think you really got a bootlick. Like that's what sucks about this interview process, bro. You got a bootlick. You gotta try to market yourself and whore yourself out there like you're some fucking prostitute. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying about not being able to do it.
Yeah, it goes against everything that I believe in. It just makes me fucking want to kill myself. But I'm sure it'll be worth it. You know, I'll get a job eventually because, you know, I'm a worthy asset to whatever company will hire me.
Well, there's no doubt that everything that you've said to me makes it clear that you're a very hardworking individual. You know, so. I think anybody would be lucky to have you on their team.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people in the chat, the comments in the chat, by the way, are hilarious. Pete needs to be sober for 2 hours. Oh God, the man is being tortured. Pete is not self-aware. Pete wants to be a bum. I'm not judging. Just being honest.
No, Mike wants to be a bum. Actually, Mike is a bum, so. Pete wants to be a hard-working individual that's part of a team and makes fucking things happen in the world.
Hey, man, I just want to earn a living, dog. I just want to learn.
Well, I'm sure that you want to do something that you can feel good about too, Pete. It always seemed like, other than the people not appreciating you properly, like that you enjoy your work, you know?
Yeah, man, you know, I want to help people, but at the same time, you know, who knows? I applied to Moderna, who was making COVID vaccines. And that's pretty much what I might be working on. I might be working on Moderna vaccine production.
Well, you know they're going to make you get the vaccine.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, dude.
It sounded like you said you're going to get the vaccine.
I don't want to.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, Pete. And nobody's making you do it. So you look it. You only have you to answer to, and these people, like you said, these people just don't appreciate what they're getting and having someone like you on their team. So. You do what you got to do, and everybody will understand that. Just be true to yourself, man, because, you deserve that. You don't have to, because if you're not, it feels, it's this thing that you carry around all the time and hard to shake off, and I just hate to think of anybody having to carry that around all the time, especially a great guy like you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And like I said, like I said before, it's like, I'm a healthy young man. I don't need your fucking bullshit ass vaccine. I'm not some old weak ass fucking bitch. I don't need that bullshit. All that vaccines for you weak ass bitches out there. We ain't about that life. We ain't about that life on fucking Fox News. We ain't about that bullshit.
You do what you gotta do.
Know that?
You be you. I'll be me. You do what you think is right. I'm not telling you what to do. I
know you're not. You've never been about that.
Here's where we're at, and that's all I've ever done is look at what happened today. That's all I've ever been about. The CIA are the fucking terrorists. That's all I've ever been about. Not telling you what to do, just telling you what I see.
I think I've had enough. I'm going to sign off, and on that note, I'm going to say fuck the CIA. Fuck the fucking the CDC. Fuck Dr. Fauci. Fuck your mom. Fuck your dad. Praise Allah. Blow my cock. And everyone have a good night.
Nice to hear from you.
I love it.
Let's see. Where are we at here, people? Blow my cock. Blow my cock. Blow my cock. All right, so I have a video about people that are having second thoughts about taking the vaccine. One of the people said that he got the first shot and then he contracted COVID, and that's making him very sketchy about getting the second shot. I found this piece very interesting, and I made sure that I had it ready for you this evening because even though it's a CNN clip, I really think you want to see it. So I'm going to play it for you now, and I'll be right back. Let's see, which one is it? It's not the supersonic jet, not getting the vaccines. That's this clip. I know you want to see it. Check it out.
President Biden's mission to have 70% of American adults with at least one shot of the vaccination by the 4th of July is facing some headwinds. As of today, 63% have received at least one dose. And if we stay on the current trajectory, the U.S. will fall about 6 million people short of that goal.
So we wanted to talk to some of the millions of people who remain hesitant or resistant to getting the vaccine to find out why. So as you're about to hear, they have many reasons. Here's your pulse of the people. Show of hands, do any of you worry about getting COVID? No, you don't. Okay, so Jennifer, you're a really interesting place to start because you are a registered nurse. And so you, as I understand it, worked in a COVID unit. You saw the worst of the worst, and I would think that you would want to get the vaccine as soon as it's available, but I know that you have hesitance.
Basically, I just want some more research. We've been seeing a lot in the hospital, like just between, the patients and the employees that I work with, we're seeing a lot of adverse reactions after Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J. So it makes me a little leery because you don't know, until you take it if you're going to get one of those reactions or not.
Obviously, because you're in the medical field, that they have researched these things and millions of people have gotten them without adverse reactions.
They don't have the research to support it or deny it. I mean, you can't verify either way right now because there's not enough proper studies done to really show it. And I think we need a few more years, at least a couple more years, to see any long-term effects.
Diana, I want to move on to you, and you have an autoimmune disease. So tell me where your hesitancy lies now.
So I know from my past being treated for various illnesses, usually I have bad side effects from that intervention. And that, for me, that was my hesitancy, that I didn't want to exacerbate my Crohn's disease because I've been in remission for so many years.
Okay, quick, let's move on to you. Tell us your hesitancy about vaccines.
A history of just not being able to trust vaccines. I've never been a vaccine guy. A lot of us as black men and black and women in general, we've just been hesitant about doing things because we've always been felt like we're kind of always set up not to win.
And yet, at some point, you did come around and you got the first vaccine.
Yeah, so it's crazy because I'm a DJ, so I travel a lot for work. So my doctor and my wife, they were kind of pushing me towards getting the vaccine, and I really wasn't for it. The crazy part, so I eventually I gave in and I got the first vaccine. 2 weeks after getting the vaccine, I contracted it, which really, really turned me off about getting the second one. And so I really didn't have any real symptoms. I had a fever. I didn't lose any sense of taste or smell or anything like that. Okay,
but the fact that you didn't have more severe symptoms, maybe you can thank the vaccine that you got.
You sound like my doctor. He said the exact same thing. And like I said to him, maybe, but maybe not. Like, we don't know. And I think that the part that's frustrating, and someone else mentioned it, we just don't have enough data. Right now, we're all still guinea pigs.
So did you get your second shot?
No, I have not gotten my second shot. And I honestly, if your next question, am I planning on getting a second shot? Today, my answer is I don't know.
Janine, tell me about your hesitancy. What's it based on?
I had COVID in February, so I have natural immunity. There's no reason for me to get the vaccine. There's no reason for me to take the vaccine doses from vulnerable people in this country or in other countries who need it more than I do.
You just don't know how long your natural immunity will last.
We don't know how long the immunity from the vaccine lasts. This is taken on a religious mentality, in my opinion, on the progressive liberal side of the spectrum.
Has this experience with COVID changed your politics?
Yes, it's changed my politics. Now I'll vote for anybody who cares about civil liberties and who doesn't allow the trampling of our rights that we've seen over the past year.
Jennifer, I see you applauding, so tell me your thoughts.
I'm loving hearing her talk right now. Everything she says, I basically agree with.
I was really applauding the young lady who said something about just taking away our First Amendment rights. Not only am I a DJ, I am a club owner. So what this did to businesses, a lot of businesses will never recover. I know the government tried to do certain PPP, but all the big major billion-dollar and Fortune 500 companies, they got all the big grants. And for a lot of our small businesses, especially black-owned businesses, we were left with crumbs. And you get what you can get, and now you got to pay it back. I mean, all of this has become so unfair and so political, and I think that's why there's this distrust, because we see that people are doing things now not for health reasons but for business reasons.
And last, Jennifer, your boss says that everybody needs to get the vaccine by June 7th or lose their job. Are you willing to lose your job as a result of not getting it?
Absolutely. I've actually had multiple companies reach out to want to hire me now because they respect the fact of what an advocate I'm being. And I'm totally prepared to lose my job.
She's willing to lose her job for something she believes in. I respect that more than someone who does something just because the world says it's the right thing to do.
Okay, so next, Victor, we're going to add an interesting voice.
And we'll be right back with No One Gives a Fuck, because they're going to come back with some authority who says, they said, what did they say? Emergency room doctor who's going to share his experience and his knowledge. I mean, going to do the fucking propaganda brainwashing that we've heard 1,000 times already? Everybody's got it so hard these days. Oh my gosh, you don't want to make it harder in the emergency room for the people already having to struggle there, being so victimized by the whole world. Right? There's my beautiful baby. Hi, my beautiful baby. It's teethy brushing day. That's his favorite. What did Jackie Cat say? Jackie Cat, you found pizza that lasts for 10 years? Huh? What? What? Pizza that lasts for 10 years? Is that what you said? I think you did. I'm not sure how long you said. Pizza. I do like pizza. Everybody likes pizza. Now, if it had a 10-year shelf life, well, I guess if you were in some kind of zombie apocalypse, you know, a 10-year shelf life pizza would look pretty good. Right? You'd be like, oh my God, pizza. I love pizza. Because one that didn't have a 12-year or year or 2-year or 5-year expiration date wouldn't be much good now, would it? Because there's not going to be freezers in the zombie apocalypse. Everything that, you know, that's the thing about zombie apocalypse, right? Is that all the nuclear reactors would be blowing up, melting down all over the place because nobody's tending to them. So, zombie apocalypse, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd worry about nuclear devastation from reactors melting down before I'd worry about zombie apocalypse. Come on, give me a break. It's coming for you. That's what CNN's going to be talking about next week. It's the new 9/11, the zombie apocalypse. It's got to happen next. It's coming. I remember them talking about some zombie guy in Florida. You remember that, Jackie Cat? Some guy was like eating people or something. He was just all zombified on some drug. I can't remember what it was. You remember that? Crazy shit happens in Florida. So, but I wouldn't count on the zombie apocalypse. That's all I'm saying. Because the bees are going to die away before that. Steve. Ooh, Steve called earlier. Steve. I don't see Steve in the chat. Steve called earlier. He did a great job. First time caller, long time viewer. So I have a video here. No one's calling. You guys can see the number on the screen, right? I have a video here about a crypto conference that's going on in Miami, and we talk about the crypto from time to time here on the page. So, like I was saying earlier, that they want to make what they're going to start saying. They haven't said it yet, but what you're going to hear is that if the crypto, if the Bitcoin didn't exist, then the ransomware attacks couldn't take place. I'm already starting to hear little bits of that, you know, back. It's this small talking point, but it's going to become a big talking point. That if it were not for cryptocurrency, ransomware attacks would not be able to take place. So, just a little heads up on that. Again, this is the terrorists. These people are, you know, they're the ones making the ransomware attacks in the first place. You know, that's the way I see it. It's coming from CIA, NSA, DHS, these fucking cunts that are terrorizing everyone already. They're doing that. They make money. They get bigger budgets. You know, they get the dark money from the crypto. And they get to say, oh, well, we got to lock down on the internet a little bit tighter. You know, they're calling it the new 9/11. which is what they did. That, you know, oh, we have to strip away your rights. We have to make the police state more embedded because it's for your protection. So if they're able to say, oh, these ransom attacks are happening, which they are saying, and they're coming from the CIA, then the CIA gets the dark money, you know, they get the ransom, they get bigger budgets, they get to hit the internet, they get to attack the crypto. It's pretty fucked up. All the things that they want just from one little ransomware attack, or 2 or 3 or whatever it is. And it's the new 9/11. So you better jump on board, because if you're not on board after 9/11, well, then you might be a terrorist. Actually, all of you might be a terrorist. There's a pretty good chance of it. At least according to the government, in case you don't know that already. Because that is the way they view each and every one of us. So, crypto conference in Miami. I understand it's an all-weekend event. Sounds like fun. Probably a lot of cool people there. I saw a pinball machine. I love pinball machines.
Favorite topics is real estate. All right, let's go back to that mega Bitcoin conference that's taking place in Miami today. Our own Susan Lee is there. She's got all the latest on what's happening and all the players. And you know what, Susan, what I said to you last hour was I knew you were going to have a long, busy day, because everybody who's anybody in crypto is at that conference.
That's right. I mean, thousands right here in Miami. So the Bitcoin mania is raging right here. And we just heard from Jack Dorsey on the stage at Bitcoin 2021. And now we're going to talk about the future of crypto with a very influential venture capitalist, Tim Draper. He invested in Tesla when it was a very small company, and among other big names like Twitter as well, of Draper Associates. And people are mobbing you here, obviously. Now, I know you were an early investor in Tesla, but Elon Musk is really hurting Bitcoin prices. He's breaking out.
Before I get into that, I just want to say I am so happy to be in the free country of Miami.
Right?
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is amazing. 60,000 people all here wanting to learn about Bitcoin and crypto and this new transformational economy that we're building. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And so Elon, my God, we backed him twice with Tesla and SpaceX. He's one of my absolute heroes. He's done so much for the world. I think he's been a little misguided on Bitcoin, but he's been so smart on some of these other things that I just think the world of him. So, whatever he does is fine by me. I think the Bitcoiners are smarter than they're given credit for. Bitcoin takes a lot less energy than the banking system does, and over time it's going to decrease, and it's increasing the number of green energy sources.
Yeah.
And people over time, though, it used to be that you'd need 5 volts to throw a switch, then it was 3, then it was 1.5.
But don't you wish you would stop tweeting at some point, Tim?
Well, I think he'll start getting ignored.
You think?
Well, yeah, unless he sort of comes around and he starts seeing the light again.
Yeah.
I think he saw the light, and then he got all sorts of people saying, wait, if you want to work with the EPA, you got to make a statement here. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, it was misguided. But anyway, he's awesome. I love Elon. What an amazing person. He's built some amazing things, and he's willing to take chances.
Okay. Tim, great to see you. Thank
Great
you so
to see
much.
you.
Tim Draper there, Draper Associates. Yes, we're going to talk about NFTs.
All you talked about?
Well, we're talking about crypto. Guys, back to you.
Let him go.
More to go here. This is going to be fun. We're coming back. I'm going to talk about trust and freedom. And if you take trust in a country, you build a great economy. You get freedom into a country. You build a great economy. And if you put trust and freedom together, you get Bitcoin.
Susan, ask him.
We'll leave it at that.
I was going to say, ask him about regulation. If he's worried about regulation, because that's the big question mark, I think, for everybody,
Well,
right?
I think everyone has that question right now. He just walked off after that monologue, but I think we'll talk about that later on.
That's awesome. All right, Susan Lee, great job down there. Looks like you're having a good time. Susan, thank you very much. Tim Draper is just a hoot. All right. And welcome back to Coast, the biggest cryptocurrency event ever, kicking off today. Jack Dorsey and Floyd Mayweather among the 50,000 descending on Miami. And that's where Susan Lee is with all the very latest. It's big business, Susan.
Yeah, we're kicking into high gear here. As you see, there are thousands of people right now packed into Miami to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and that includes our next guest. You might recognize him, Entourage, Adrian Grenier, do Contra Ventures now with impacts investing, especially using cryptocurrency. So, people want to ask you, how did you get into crypto and why did you get into it?
Well, crypto is the future, and I really want to put a lot of my energy, my life force behind creating new systems for a better world for people and the planet.
Yeah. So how did you get into it? Because I would tell you that a lot of our audience would say, I don't understand cryptocurrency. I don't understand Bitcoin. How did you get to understand it?
I don't entirely understand it either. I think you'd be lying if you said you did. Really, the way I look at it, it's not just an investment to make money. This is really an alternative store of value. This is the way we exchange value more accurately with one another, and there's more transparency. I think we need more access to the world's riches. We need more equity, and I think alternative currencies such as Bitcoin will help get us there. Because right now we have a lot of gatekeepers, a lot of centralized systems that have incentives that aren't aligned with all the people of the world.
Right. So you think that cryptocurrency democratizes the financial system?
You understand it, don't you?
I'm trying to understand it, but I think that's kind of what people talk about when they talk about coins and Dogecoin and Bitcoin.
Absolutely. It is a currency for the people. It's localized. It's also decentralized. So you get to decide how it actually flows. We need more flow of that currency so that we can actually build the world that we want to see.
Yeah. So I know you're very passionate about the environment, sustainability, but someone say, why would you get into crypto when Bitcoin mining takes up so much electricity and energy consumption?
Oh yeah, it's no doubt that Bitcoin needs to get better, and all these new currencies need to get better environmentally, but we're living in balance. Everything is a trade-off, and I say the value that alternative currencies provide for society at this moment outweighs the environmental cost, but we do need to get better. But just keep in mind that our current economic system also has a big environmental impact that we're not looking at, we're not measuring. So a lot of times people who are resistant to the change or are incentivized because they're making money off of the old paradigm want to poo-poo it or denigrate it in some way and try and dissuade people from getting involved. But eventually it will level out, and I think it will get better environmentally.
Okay. Adrian, great to see you. Thank you so much. Adrian Grenier, Entourage, of course, and do Contra Ventures. Guys, we're just getting started here. I'll send it back to you.
Susan Lee, very exciting down there. 50,000 people, I believe, are attending that conference. So you're going to have a long day. Thank you, Susan.
There's my Boo Bear down by the river. And seriously, I love pinball machines. I have since I was a kid. I remember when video games first started coming out and being around, the same places that they put pinball machines. And I tried them a few times, and I thought that they were stupid. Number one, you got to keep feeding it quarters every 2 or 3 minutes. You give me 50 cents, I can play a pinball machine for hours. But besides that, it's just this repetitive, at least back in the day, it's just this repetitive kind of thing that you just need to learn the pattern and then you got it made. So the thing about pinball is it's always a unique experience, right? The ball goes where the ball wants to go. You get the flipper just in the right place and it goes where you want it to, or you don't get it in the right place. It's completely every single, not just every single game, but every single ball. You get like 3 or 4 or 5 balls per game. Every single one is a unique experience. I love that, as opposed to this random pattern like video games were back in the day when I first started, when they first appeared, when I first started noticing them. It didn't make any sense to me. But now they're like, everybody's got them. Everybody's playing them. Everybody's doing it. Come on, man. Everybody's doing it. All right, people. I have one video left. No one's calling. I'm going to go ahead and play that video. It's another video about the skyrocketing gun sales in this country. Because, and why are gun sales skyrocketing? Apparently because people are afraid. At least that's what the report says, is that the gun sales are skyrocketing because people are terrified. Who's terrifying them? The government, the police, because the police aren't doing their job, or the police are beating up on them, one or the other. The military, you know, the mainstream media. That's who's terrorizing them. That's who's terrorizing us all. So I think this is, you know, they spread the fear, they spread the fear, they spread the fear, and then they go, gun sales are skyrocketing. And then they go, oh, we have to take your gun rights away. And that pushes gun sales up even more, right? And what's always been kind of bizarro to me is that they say the terrorists are everywhere. The terrorists are coming. The terrorists. And so there's terrorists everywhere, but we need to give up our guns so that we can be safe. The fucking terrorists are everywhere. How can we give up our guns? What happens if the terrorists come for us and we don't have guns? Right? The terrorists are everywhere. No, they're in the news media, they're in the White House, they're in the Congress, they're in your local police department. That's where the real terrorists are. So, I'm going to play this video about people being afraid enough to buy guns. I guess some people think they're a good investment. I grew up in a house full of guns. There was probably 200 guns in the house, and the vast majority of them were always loaded. And my dad was like, it's just a paperweight if it's not loaded. So it was pretty specific. And again, the guns were for defense. So I don't want to so much say that my dad had guns because he was afraid, but it seemed like in the back of his mind, he killed a lot of people, my dad did. And he always kind of, I got the impression that he always felt like some kind of retribution was coming. So he was prepared. I remember being in a parking lot, walking out to the car in a parking lot one time, and a car backfired. And he was like, get down, and got down behind a car. He gave me a gun, because he always carried two. He gave me one and said, just stay here. I'll be right back. I'll make sure everything's cool and I'll be right back. So it's not so much he was afraid. He wasn't that kind of guy, but, you know, there was obviously this haunting thing in the back of his head that was like, got to be prepared. They're coming. We got to be prepared. I guess that could be fear, but that's really not the way I saw him. So gun sales skyrocketing because of fear.
Millions of Americans expressing their Second Amendment right. 17 million people bought guns in 2020. And as crime rates go up, those sales keep going up. Hillary Vaughn's got all of the details. Hillary.
Well, these numbers would scare anybody who was worried about their safety, and gun groups say that fear is triggering a spike in gun sales across the nation. Just in the last year, shootings in New York City up 77%. In Portland, shootings were up 120% compared to the year before. And I'm here with Sean Pullen. He is the owner of Nova Armory. And Sean, you told me that not only are you seeing demand rise for guns and firearms, but you're also seeing demand rise for ammo as well.
Correct. Ammunition is just like the toilet paper for COVID for our industry. People have come in here and actually bought guns based on ammunition availability. So that's very new. Ammunition, I think people are buying up to actually train, but also to, store and have a large stockpile at home.
And you mentioned that when people coming in to buy a firearm, they're actually many times telling you, well, what firearm do you have and what ammo do you have to go with it? And what did that kind of signal to you about the type of people coming in?
So that is a very odd signal for us, because that tells us someone's a little worried, kind of apprehensive of their environment at home. So they're coming here buying a firearm just strictly for home defense. And a lot of those new firearm purchasers are new. Yeah, new purchasers.
That's interesting. Well, that is not the only. This is not the only gun shop that's seeing that across the country. According to The Trace, a news site that tracks gun purchases, in 2020, they were up 64%. And the highest month was in June, when there was rioting, looting, and protests sparking around the country. Mark Oliva, he's the spokesperson for the National Shooting Sports Foundation, says they surveyed gun shops and retailers told him that customers are coming in to arm themselves.
They said this largely bore out, that people were concerned about their personal safety, the ability of police to be able to respond to a 911 call, and that time in between where they were going to have to be their own first responder. So we're certainly seeing a reaction to the gun control policies that this administration's embracing.
And Oliva told us that it is not hunting rifles that are flying off the shelves, but handguns like this that people use for personal protection. He tells us that 8.4 million gun owners were new last year, buying a gun for the very first time, because for the first time they felt like they actually needed one to protect themselves. Back to you.
It's very unfortunate, but true. Hillary Vaughn, thank you very much.
I don't see a fucking tiger. Fucking tiger. Let's see. So, CIA asset. No, that was my dad. You know, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My dad was a CIA asset. He was. He also worked with the FBI and the DEA, and I kind of fell far from that tree. Hello, caller.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Hey, this is Manny. How's it going, Max?
Okay. How's it going with you, Manny?
I'm okay. I'm just looking Max news.
Cool. So you got plans for the weekend?
Not really, Max. I'm just bored over here, home sleeping.
Well, you should go out and enjoy the world, man.
I know, Max. I know. I don't know where to go. I wanted to, I was supposed to go to Spokane last week, but I went to Moses Lake.
Oh, was that good? Was that good?
Yeah, it was a lot of people over there. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, we went to Golden Gardens on Saturday. There was like a ultra low tide. It was like a -4 or something, and there was there was just a ton of people there.
Yeah, it's nice. It was full of old people in the RVs, and a lot of people doing a lot of barbecue, and I don't know if they kind of because I think they're doing barbecue or hamburgers or something like that. But yeah, it was nice.
Sounds like the good life.
It is, but it looks more like it's. You know what Moses Lake is, right? It's like east of the Columbia River. So the area is semi-desertic, so Moses Lake is in a reservoir. So once it is in the reservoir, I mean, the water is nice, the weather was nice, it was overcast, but yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. We went to the Olympics, and we went up to Hurricane Ridge, which was really cool. So I haven't been to the Olympics before. I really enjoyed Rufus got to roll in the snow. Rufus loves the snow, man. So he was very happy.
I saw the video that you posted a few days ago, your background video. When you were doing your monthly show, there was a background video of you and I think Nick and your dog walking in the top mountain, I believe.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, it looks nice. It looks nice. I'm still surprised that there's still snow in that place. I mean, not a lot of snow though, and it's literally no snow, but there's still some snow inside.
Well, that's where we were at. That gets all the sunshine. The parts of the mountains that don't get all the sunshine, there was a lot of snow.
Yeah. But anyways, so everything is the new 9/11. Huh.
Yep.
Isn't that supposed to be like the virus, the new 9/11?
Well, they said today, they said that the protesters on January 6th was a new 9/11. They said that coronavirus is the new 9/11. They said gun violence is the new 9/11. And now they're saying the ransomware attacks are the new 9/11. So they're not saying necessarily it's a new 9/11 so much as it's, another 9/11. It's just a bunch of bullshit, Manny. It's like, 9/11, we're all supposed to be heartfelt because our country was attacked on that day, and now the ransomware attacks are doing the same thing to us. No, they're not. 3,000 people died on 9/11, supposedly. And so
we also don't have a TV, man. I
What's that?
saw it on TV when I was a kid, the whole 9/11 thing.
Yeah. So
It's crazy because, I was 14 and I was so impressed. I'm like, oh, damn. An airplane just hit and just people are jumping. And like, this is the coolest shit ever and stuff. But I was 14 at the time, though. But now that I think about it, I was like, shit, this is really messed up. I mean, people died. And then, like 10 years later, when YouTube came about, you start listening to the phone calls, the last goodbye phone calls, or like the 911, 911 phone calls. When that happens, there was one that he was solving the guy, and then suddenly he started yelling, no, and the phone call
Yeah.
cut off. And it kind of hits you big time, dude, especially when you're an adult. It might not hit you when you're a kid because you're so impressible and you think it's the coolest thing ever, but once you grow up, dude, and you have a better perspective in life, it kind of hits you big time, man.
The YouTube came about 4 years after 9/11, not 10 years, so you know.
Well, yeah, but when I saw the 9/11 videos, it was around 2008, 2009, 10-ish. That's when I got started interested in watching those YouTube videos. Because remember, YouTube, it was big, but it was not as big as it is today. That there was no live streaming, not a lot of content compared to what it is today, though.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of the videos that they were recorded, the quality was so crappy that you don't even want to watch it.
Well, that's what the video quality was back then, and the YouTube was only allowing you so much space. So it wasn't like, you could put HD videos up on the YouTube. It just wasn't an option.
And this is recently, the HD videos within the last 10 years, though, because I remember there was a page within YouTube that was the HD was experimental. And the computers at my old community college, they were kind of freezing every single time I tried to print this video. And this is using the old Flash video.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's 9/11 Musk. And the new conspiracy theories and the new Twitters is going to be about the vaccines. And the emails are not helping them because it's kind of reinforcing the theory that the vaccines were man-made.
And that Fauci's lied about everything. Not only that the vaccines are man-made, that Fauci, the head guy, has been lying the whole time.
Which, if they ask you a year ago, they will say you're a conspiracy theory guy, you're a QAnon, Alex Jones fanatic who believes everything that they say on YouTube. These are the same people who dismiss you just because you raise concerns about the 5G.
And then those people, you ask them, did you read the Fauci emails? Because if you didn't read the Fauci emails, then you're completely in the dark. If you read the Fauci emails, then you know he's been lying to us from day one.
What I'm more concerned about, and there was one email from Fauci that I was reading now. Apparently, some guy linked a Zero Hedge article regarding the possibility that the virus was man-made, and they kind of like linked the dots together, though, in the Zero Hedge article. And they sent it to Fauci, and then Fauci lied to people, and then that one of his friends from this Echo Lab or Echo Health sent an email thanking him for dismissing these rumors or dismissing that conspiracy theory, which is really, really, really messed up. Though. And I agree with Ron Paul. That guy should be fired big time.
You know, this phrase conspiracy theory, you know, you should leave it to the mainstream media because they're going to call everything conspiracy theory. And the facts is that people discussing what happened or what it is that's going on, not being part of the official story, is not necessarily a conspiracy theory. That's just the way.
Yeah, and that's the other thing though. Like you have tech media, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Twitter. They're, I don't want to say manipulating them, but they're trying to pursue the narrative in a certain way. And you have these leakers from Project Veritas who show you with documents that that's happening now. Like talking about a lab-grown lab and the Wuhan virus and stuff like that last year, they'll get you banned from YouTube. They'll get you banned from social media. I mean, even the president of the United States got banned from Twitter, man. Because, and not banned, but he got strike, and they use it as an excuse to ban him, though. But I mean, we all know January 6th was the cherry on the top of the cake for Twitter movement. But anyway, yeah, like last year, that was a conspiracy theory, and they will ban you on YouTube for saying that. And they were trying to push the people to say a certain narrative, even though a lot of people say that was complete BS.
Look, I don't see discussion as being dangerous. You know, the people on YouTube, the people on Facebook, the people on Twitter that are censoring stuff are saying, "Oh, this is dangerous." They're saying, "Oh, that's fake news." You know, I mean, what news isn't fake news at this point? But the dangerous, you know, they're acting like you can't decide for yourself whether, you know, you're interested. I keep talking about this Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. These are the biggest soapbox in the biggest town square in the world, right? So in America or around the world, this getting up on your soapbox thing has been an expression for a long, long time. You'd go down to the town square and you get up on your soapbox and you say, "Everybody, this is happening, and I thought you'd want to know. Let me tell you more about it." And if people wanted to listen to you, they listened to you. Otherwise, they went somewhere else because I don't, you know, whatever it is he's saying doesn't apply to me. So, and this is the same way it is on YouTube, the same way it is on Facebook. If you don't like what I'm saying, there's a billion other Facebook pages. There's a billion other YouTube pages. Go and listen to one of them. You know, it's not that what I'm saying is dangerous. It's that the powers that be think what I'm saying is dangerous. You know, it's not. It's just words, and it's there for people who are interested in what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the problem, Max, and it's quite creepy, but I actually think it's more dangerous to control the narrative than to actually let the narrative go. Because, and I get this feeling that letting the narrative go and control led to Donald Trump. And they realize that. They don't want another Donald Trump, or at least that's what they want, or that's what they feel. They don't want another populist. They don't want another crazy man. They don't want. And I think it has to do with the fatigue of Donald Trump and all this craziness that Donald Trump brought. Because let's face it, that was a huge watershed moment in American history. And I feel like
how was it a watershed moment in American history exactly?
It changed the culture completely, Max.
What changed the culture completely, and how did it change?
It polarized people even more. It gets the rise to the woke left. The progressives start going crazy. All this critical race theory start going on steroids. And the right also become very cultist. Like they say, "Oh, we have to trust the plan." That's what the whole QAnon thing came about, though, because of the whole Trump phenomenon, though.
Okay, but how did this change the culture? Okay, you're talking about, you know, this is America. We eat hamburgers and corn dogs, and we go to church.
Oh, I see. No, I'm talking about the political culture, the pop culture.
Pop culture?
Yeah.
Pop culture, you mean like top 40 songs or television, or what kind of pop culture?
if you Musk tell yourself 10 years ago all the things that happened starting from 2016, you will be laughing and say, man, you need to start smoking all that shit.
No, don't talk about what I smoke as shit. It's not. It's very good stuff.
No. That's what I'm saying though. Like if yourself, like your present self, closing time and talk to your 2005 yourself. Your 2005 we said, you know what, you need to stop smoking all that shit, man, because you're going crazy. Because your past self is not gonna believe all the things that happened ever since 2016. Like Donald Trump president, like the guy from The Apprentice, like the guy who was living in New York in a golden toilet. No, and you will not believe yourself that you have these crazy followers called the QAnons and like the MAGA people and the what's it called, those frat boys guys, the Booger boys. That's what it's called. I don't know, man, but I feel like 2016 everything changed big time. I mean, I was watching the whole election thing and I couldn't even believe it either. So I was for sure that Hillary was going to win.
Yeah, well, that's what the media said over and over again. There's no way that Hillary can't win. So.
No, you're saying that there's no way Trump could win.
Well, no, they're saying there's no way Hillary can't win. So
okay, sorry,
they're basically saying she's already the president. So, and that was part of the brainwashing. This is what the media does. Is it says, oh, well, Hillary's already the president, so you Trump voters might as well not vote, or you people who want to vote. A lot of people feel like if they vote for the right person, they win sometimes, or somehow. So they'll instead of actually voting for who they think is best, they'll vote for who they think is going to win. So the media goes, oh, well, Hillary Clinton's got it clinched, you know. So you go, oh, I want to be part of the winner. Oh, well, Donald Trump's not going to win. What's the point in voting for him? This is the mainstream media, and it's fucking with your head constantly.
Well, it's true though. There's some influence that the media has all the time though when it comes to that though. Which is pretty manipulative, quite frankly, though. And I noticed that especially during the Obama era, 2008, when I was watching the elections of Obama. I mean, everyone was following Obama like they were in some sort of cult, man. Like Obama wasn't Obama was some sort of messiah.
Okay, well, listen. Okay, in 2008. 2009, when he took the White House, right, was after 4 years of Bush, 8 years of Bush and Cheney, okay, people who didn't win an election either in 2000 or 2004, in my opinion. And I can explain that easily. But what I'm saying is there was this fucking one war, there was this horrible terrorist attack, and then there was this war. Well, then there was the anthrax attacks, and then there was a war in Afghanistan, and then there was the war in Iraq. And so it's all this horrible, horrible, horrible things that are happening in America, and there's terrorists everywhere. The terrorists are coming for you. And then Obama came along, and George Bush talks like a fucking hick. Okay, he talks like, you know, he just says stupid shit constantly, you know. So you see Obama, and he's this amazing orator, and he promised you hope and change after this fucking horrible, horrible administration. So people were like, oh my God, we need change and we need hope. So it's like you're saying, a cult is almost like a religion. It's like, you know, somebody promising you what you're desperate for. So you're like, oh yes, let's go get on Obama's side. And then he turns out to be the third and fourth terms of George W. Bush. Not me who came up with that. Other people came up with that. And I believe it's absolutely, positively, exactly correct. Third and fourth term of Bush.
That's what I'm saying now. And I saw it when I was in community college back then, Max, when the whole 2008 election happened. And you see a lot of people with their hope and change shirts. They were dancing for Obama, selling cupcakes for Obama, wearing masks, Obama masks. Even though now that I think about it, that kind of sounds racist, though. But yeah, I saw that saying that Obama was the hope and change. It's like the equivalent of the Bernie Bros of 2016, though. But I mean, these guys were like super cultish. And quite frankly, everyone believed that he's gonna be the Messiah.
Okay. So, the Trump people, the Trump supporters, are not super cultish. Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, let's face it though. Based on what I've seen, they
Wait. Are the Trump supporters? What do you say? Cultist? Is that what you said? You know, are they? They're the same as the Obama supporters, right?
Yeah. Now that you mention about it, they kind of do actually. But I feel like the Obama crowd and the Bernie bros are more cultish compared to Obama, because these are kids, so they have no idea what they're talking about. And then, but let's face it, a lot of boomers that they were for Trump, they were like super. I don't know. They were super excited for Trump though, and they clouded their critical thinking. So yeah, I mean that's a fair comparison, quite frankly.
Well, you're the one who brought it up. I just wanted to ask if that's what you know, because I see similar trends when you talk about it being a cultist kind of thing. I see very similar, trends in the Trump supporters too. But you're right. I see the Obama supporters as I don't want to call them cultish, but at the same time they were clouds in the head, dreamer, like you said, the new Messiah, and he turns out to be the third and fourth term of George W. Bush. So big letdown there.
But yeah, it's weird, man. It's crazy, and quite frankly, man, I mean, anyone who clouds your critical thinking, you have to walk away. You have to walk away. And yes, I voted for Trump, and I didn't vote for Trump because I was with the cult. I voted for Trump because I really hate what the left was doing. It was kind of like a middle finger to the left, because of the critical race theory, because of the wokeness, because of the policies that they were doing and the spending, though. And that's why I voted for Trump, because I wanted to show them the middle finger. Just like Michael Moore says, that voting for Trump was one of the biggest middle finger that you can show to the establishment. That's why I did it, though.
Yeah.
Not because I trust the plan and I thought that like the QAnon was real.
Yeah. Well, no, I think a lot of people voted for Donald Trump because Hillary Clinton is one of the most despised figures in American political history. So they're like, there's no way we are letting her become president of the United States. She's one of the most despised figures in American political history. Okay, right up there with Benedict Arnold. And in my opinion, if you did a poll during the 2016 election, who would you rather vote for, Hillary Clinton or Benedict Arnold? I bet you the majority of people would pick Benedict Arnold. So, or you could pick any other fucking name, and they would choose that, Osama bin Laden. Would you rather vote for Hillary Clinton or Osama bin Laden? And they'd be like, fuck Hillary Clinton.
I didn't like that woman anyway. I mean, I didn't like it since the 90s. I don't know, I got this cold, weird vibe about her. And it wasn't because I'm a Nista or something like that. It's just, I don't know, there was something weird about her. I never liked it though. And then
yeah, she's an elitist fucking dickhole. She thinks that she's better. She thinks she can kill people and kill people and kill people and kill people and then come up on stage and be this beloved fucking figure. She's again, one of the most despised political figures in American history.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But I mean, it is what it is, and I wish her the best, and I thank her for her service for the United States.
Who?
But I don't think that's her.
Who do you thank for their service?
I, as an American. But
who are you thanking for their service?
Hillary.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Let me finish my thought. I personally would thank her for her service, but I would say, you know what? Your time is up. Let other people deal with it who are more competent, who has better policies than you. So stay aside, enjoy retirement with your husband.
That's a bunch of bullshit, Manny. Okay? She belongs in prison. Okay? She helped George W. Bush march into Iraq based on lies. Everyone knew it was lies. She helped him make it happen. Okay? She belongs in prison just like George Bush, Dick Cheney, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, they all belong in prison because we need to make the world a safer place for little children. That simple. It's that simple.
Wait. So you're saying you believe in Pizzagate?
What?
So you're saying you believe in Pizzagate?
I'm not saying anything about Pizzagate. I'm saying that she spends money blowing up children with bombs in your name with your tax dollars. Okay?
No.
We need to send Hillary Clinton, George Bush, Dick Cheney, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. They all have to go to prison for the rest of their lives because children around the world are at risk because they are free to roam the planet.
That sounds to me like a Pizzagate Twitter, man.
I don't know anything about Pizzagate. You know, it's Pizzagate. Look, compared to what I'm saying, Pizzagate is meaningless. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton being a threat to every child on the face of the planet.
I agree with you, Max. I agree. It's just like what I'm saying is your rhetoric, you sound like somebody who believes in Pizzagate, somebody who believes that.
I keep telling you, fuck Pizzagate. I don't know anything about Pizzagate. I don't give a fuck about Pizzagate. I already said that like 3 times.
No. You're fine. I'm just saying though, based on what I've been reading and what I heard the rhetoric of other people. All I'm saying is you heard like somebody who believes in Pizzagate, even though you don't believe it on it.
I don't sound like that. I sound like somebody who understands that Hillary Clinton is one of the most despised figures in American political history. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
250 years of the U.S. government, Hillary Clinton is one of the most despised people in that entire 250-year history.
I agree with you, Max, on that one, though. But again, I mean, if we're going to protect children, okay, I get it. You want to protect children from the bombs, from the massacres of the military, from the poverty and the secondary effects that war brings into children. That's a fair point. But I'm also worried about the children that happens over here in America because the policies, the neoliberal policies from Hillary Clinton and other Democrats are also bringing devastation for the children.
I said we have to fucking send her to jail to make the world a safe place for children. I didn't say children outside our country. Look at all these politicians are throwing away your children's futures. Okay? Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, they're all shitting all over your children's futures. Hey Manny, I gotta go. Thanks for calling.
No problem, Max. Take it easy.
Okay. There's shit. Okay, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Mike Pence, Donald Trump, they're shitting all over your children's future. Okay? And acting like they shouldn't be responsible for your children's future in any way. Which is what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be leading our country boldly into the 21st century, thinking about the people that will come behind us and how we can make their lives a better place. Because that should be a top priority for us. And instead, we go around the world making war and destroying families and children and moms and dads and puppies. Okay? Because of people like Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney. Those people are the scum of the earth. And you know what? I think Hillary Clinton is a much more despised figure than Dick Cheney. And Dick Cheney is as bad a piece of shit as has ever existed on this planet. And people despise Hillary Clinton more, I believe. So when I say one of the most despised figures in American political history, that being Hillary Clinton, one of the most despised figures in American political history, I think that's an understatement. It might be a bold statement, but I think it's an understatement. And again, Dick Cheney, horrible human being. All these people, every sitting member of Congress, they have to go to prison forever so that we can make examples of them for the people who come after them. Because if we don't make examples of these criminals that are throwing away, the next generation's future, the generation after that's future, can you not see? It's not just even that they threaten children that are on the planet right now. They threaten all children that are coming after this generation. All children on the planet, everywhere, every single one. That's the people in the U.S. government. And because of that, they all have to go to prison. Because we have to make the world a safe place for children, don't we? Isn't that what the drug war is all about? Oh, wait, the drug war brought us a fentanyl epidemic, a heroin epidemic, a meth epidemic. So I guess they aren't protecting the children at all with their bullshit drug war on the people, on your children. It's a war on your children. Again, they're destroying the future of all your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. They have to go to prison forever. Otherwise, every single politician that comes after them is going to be exactly the same. Destroying your family's future, your great-grandchildren's future. That's what they're doing right now. And we have to stop them. Because if we don't do it, who's going to? Right? And you're not going to do it by voting. We simply have to send them to prison. Okay? I'm not sure how we make that happen, but that's what has to happen. Otherwise, we are letting down all the children around the world that come after us. Because there's evildoers in the U.S. government. In fact, the entire U.S. government's pretty much evil. And we want something better for us, too. We want politicians that we can believe in and feel good about and want to shake their hand. I can't think of a single member of Congress or the White House that I'd like to shake their hand. In fact, I'm afraid that if I did that, I would never be able to get my hand clean again. And I probably wouldn't be able to stop vomiting for a very long time. So, I'm serious. I'm serious about the vomiting. I'm serious about not being able to get my hand clean. That's the way I view all of these people. Every single one of them. So, I don't know how we're going to make it happen. But I do know that if we can recognize the common enemy that we all have, the government, the U.S. government, the evil, evil, evil U.S. government. If we can simply recognize that common enemy that we all have, then we have the hope of actually doing something about it. But as long as they have this divided and living in fear, there's no hope. There's no hope. There's no hope. There's Craig.
I gotta run.
He's
I gotta
talking
run
to
the computer
up to the casino.
No, actually, security company that were taking care of the guy that does all the car dealerships.
Good.
He's just like,
Okay.
Hey, when my computer being back? I'm like, waiting on delivery from Amazon, but I can piece something together till it shows up. You know me, I'm a miracle worker. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
You work all the time, that's for
Hey,
sure.
Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
All right, are you... I guess we're done. I don't have any
I'm
callers.
gonna call her, so...
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
used up all my
now.
videos.
I'll transfer the call through, and this will be the last call.
Okay.
We didn't quite make our donation number.
Yeah, we didn't come close to our donation number.
Thanks a lot, Whisper.
Trump. Pete is the only one that donated all week long. All week, Pete is the only one that donated. Thanks a bunch, Pete. You're the man. You're the man of the week, Pete. And again, if you'd like to give a donation to keep Mox moving strongly, boldly into the 21st century, it's easy to do. There are clickable links in the text body of this video, or you can find the clickable links in the chat. It should take less than 2 minutes, or you can go to moxnews.com and it's easy to make a donation there. Like I said, it should take less than 2 minutes. So, that being said, not having any phone callers, not having anyone to take a dab for right at the moment. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back on Monday, same Mox time, same Mox channel. And until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits.
See, there's my beautiful baby. I just thought you guys might want to see him. Since he decided to get in frame, it's what I say. Every time I say same Mox time, same Mox channel, he looks up like, are we done? Because he knows what's happening and he listens to everything. Because he's such a smart Boo Bear. You're my beautiful baby, Boo Bear. He's my beautiful baby. All right, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Hope we see you there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, it's always better when you're here. Huh, Boo Bear? It's always better when Boo Bear's here. That's for sure. Teethy brushing day. It's teethy brushing day.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com